Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master. Actually, I won't be. I'll be your friendly Knight Marshal tonight. Because you see, tonight we are continuing on with a war story that we have. This tale takes place in the same setting as what our Night Below campaign does for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. And for that matter, the war story that we played using 4th Edition D&D as well. But this one we are using Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, the recently kickstarted set of rules that Pinnacle Entertainment are offering that provides a version of the Savage Worlds rules that tries to capture the feel of Pathfinder 1st Edition, or Dungeons & Dragons for that matter. And with me today are the stars of the Spring of Ashes war story. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. We'll start off with one that'll be easy because you can't tell us who you're playing yet because we're going to have to generate your character first. But first up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm not sure who I'm playing, but I'm here and going to play somebody.
Nice. Next up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm going to be playing Saul. He is a sort of mean-spirited refugee. And leanings towards sorcerer, but we don't know that yet because
nice.
We haven't got that far.
Well, and we've also learned from our most recent session that there is a risk of counting chickens.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least is Steve-O.
Bonsoir, yes, I'm here, and I'm playing good old refugee Stan, who's pretty good at the old combat type stuff. But,
nice. So, for those joining us fresh, this campaign takes place at around the episode 120 mark of our ongoing Night Below game. Our Night Below campaign has followed a series of heroes as they've been making their way across the region of Herronshire to find problems, try and solve problems, save people, and whatnot. And one of the events that has happened recently was the last year there were a number of attacks on farms. The Shrieking Mire, which you can see on the screen now, had a army basically of raiding lizardfolk that came out that were driving people from their farms down into Thurmaster itself. And oh god, you know what? I just noticed that I made John's character the travel token, and that's what I did with Yason too. So we may want to, draw straws for whose token is going to be the travel token.
Yeah,
that seems to bode poorly for those heroes. In addition, there was a pair of boulets, of land sharks that were hunting the sort of central region in Herronshire as well, causing huge problems for some of the farms there. And that resulted in more refugees that were pouring into Thurmaster. Our heroes in the main campaign took them in and have been trying to help that community, but they have recently set off into the Shrieking Mire in search of the Queen of the Mire, a legendarily old dragon that's supposed to dwell somewhere in there. But in the absence, what we've done is, or in their absence, we have turned our attention to some of the refugees. So we've been using a couple of rules. We've been using not only the Savage Worlds, the Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, or Savage Pathfinder rules. We've also been taking advantage of some of the optional rules from Savage Worlds itself, including the gritty combat, so life's a little more precarious in this than it is in standard Pathfinder or standard Savage Worlds, to capture sort of the feel of early life in our Night Below campaign. And what's happened thus far, I guess, to give a nutshell summary, is that the thing that captured our heroes' attention in this campaign was the rumor of a treasure buried on one of the farms. Apparently on her deathbed, one of the refugees... Oh yeah, the other bad thing that's happened is over the course of the winter, a plague struck. So thanks to the work of our PC clerics, they've blunted the impact of that with cure disease spells, but it still was a tough winter for a lot of folks. And that's where we're picking up, is the spring after all of that happening. Our heroes have started, or the community has started planting some of the farms immediately around the vicinity of Thurmaster. However, they really haven't had a chance to go out much further than the immediate vicinity, leaving tons of farms all the way along this region that have still not been occupied or haven't had people return to them. So our first session saw our heroes following leads and trying to follow up with, trying to figure out where this this treasure was coming from. And Jeff, I think you were there for both of them. Do you remember what you guys learned before you set out last session?
We've learned that the treasure is worth about 4,000 gold pieces. We learned the name of the girl, which was Gilly.
Yeah, Gilly. The Isabel was the name of the nurse who apparently heard that person's last rites, the woman's last rites, who was trying to make sure that her granddaughter, the only surviving family she had, didn't go without.
We learned it's the Morlaix farm.
Yep.
And
you also learned someone else was interested in it as well.
Oh yeah, Weismar is definitely after this as well.
Yeah, Weismar being the proprietor of a rival tavern from the one that our heroes run, and someone who has become a bit of a nemesis for our heroes in town. Last session saw our heroes actually set out along with a new party member who had sort of forced herself upon the party, Lyria. That was Andrew's character. And what she, unfortunately, what you guys found within hours of leaving the town, crossing one of the fields, you guys came across two figures, which proved to be not friendly, but familiar.
Yes.
Those ended up being Lyria's husband, departed husband, and one of the farmhands from their farm. She screamed, drew the attention of these things, and when the dust settled, our heroes had successfully defeated these two horrible things, but at a pretty dear cost. That was our first party member casualty in any Night Below game. That being John's character, Caius. Caius, unfortunately, fell under the claws of that undead horror. Realizing the true danger that was before them, our heroes kind of decided that discretion may be the better part of valor. Collected Caius's remains, collected Lyria's husband's remains, and then headed back to town to sort of plan differently. So, even though Stan did show up at the last second to try and assist, unfortunately he was too late, and Caius died. So,
and Saul was grievously injured too.
Saul, yes, that's right. Yeah, even in spite of Lyria's menstruations. Oh, and without a healer, yeah, you guys are gonna be. That's gonna be interesting. Yeah. So, what we're gonna start our session with is with Arlen introducing us to his character. So, Arlen, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, and I posted on Discord as well, too. Basically, we're going to make you a quick character that is basically exactly like what a starting character would be in Savage Pathfinder, only you're not starting with a class edge yet. So, looks like you got a name and you've got an illustration for your character. Pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. So, what are you thinking here? What kind of character are we meeting tonight?
Well, so I was thinking that I would, because humans get a free die up, right?
They get one
attribute.
Yeah, and you're free to what I've done on the sample character sheets. There is just I have taken the 5 points that you get as a starting character, and I just bumped every one of them up by 1. So you can bump one down and then get those points and bump it up again. So you're free to do whatever you like.
I don't think I'm going to do any of that. I think I'm going to raise my spirit, and be brave.
Ooh, nice.
Free edge.
Okay,
that seems like that might be useful.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the next thing we'd like Jeff said before, I can't remember if it was before we went live or no, when you're doing your introductions, that it's neat to think about where these characters will land in terms of their classes when they actually, or if they actually live to that point. Fear would be great because that's what caused caused the others to panic. Okay, so you start with the automatically with the poverty. What do you call it? Poverty hindrance, because you are a refugee, and it's all the characters start with that. You are free to take another major hindrance and another minor hindrance, and then you'll have 4 points to spend. You can spend 2 points to get a new edge. You can spend 2 points to bump one of your attribute dice up again, or you can convert that into skill points and augment the 12 skill points that you get to start with. You already have your core skills down there as well.
This was one of the toughest choices with character creation.
Was the hindrances or the...
Yeah, well, where to spend those extra points.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, because we weren't getting...
Choice.
Yeah, and I mean, knowing that you're not getting advancements quite as quickly as you do in, say, our Iron Gods games.
All right, I think I am going to... So I think I'm going to take Loyal Miner, because that seems pretty good as far as, stick around for the crew.
Sure.
Since I'm going to do that anyway, basically.
I think you can cut and paste that one from the compendium as well. That's identical to between Savage Pathfinder and Adventure Edition.
Oh, well then. And then I will...
Do you have any direction idea for class if you do survive?
I am not sure.
Because sometimes that'll influence which way you want to go as well.
I think... I think it would be fun to take Tongue-Tied as the major hindrance.
So what does that one do?
It's the adventurer flubs cool lines or thinks of them afterwards, goes off on tangents when trying to talk someone into something, and generally miscommunicates most everything they say. The hero suffers a -1 penalty to intimidation, performance, persuasion, and taunt rolls that involve speech.
That's great. All right. So then you need to select your skills. Remember, 1 point for every dice step up to the point that is equal to your stats, and then for every one beyond that, it costs 2 for each dice step. And as a human, you already took Brave as your edge, right?
Yep, I took Brave as my edge for being human. Okay, and then I also need to think about where I'm going to spend those points from the hindrances.
So one of the things we've realized that because you can only raise one stat per tier, then those early stat gains do yield benefits. But in addition, there's a number of background edges that are pretty amazing, but you have to take them at character generation, or you can't take them.
Yeah,
like luck or Elan or any of those ones that muck with your bennies.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys have used Elan to great effect in the marathon.
Iron Gods, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my spirit 1 more, and then I'm going to increase my agility a little bit with the points.
Okay.
And that'll be my hindrance points, and then I get 12 points for skills, right?
That's correct.
All right, 12 for skills. What am I going to do? Well, I'm definitely not going to do like Will's character in the game, the marathon, and take no fighting points. That was terrible for him. So, okay, I'm going to, let's see. What do I want? I want to start fighting at least.
We don't have, in the traveling rules, now if we're going to metagame a little bit, we had all characters who had notice of D8, survival of D6, and stealth of D4. So if you want to do a different arrangement than that, it would be slightly beneficial to the party. Because we all had identical stats. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and who, between Stan and Saul, what's the highest survival right now?
I'm a D6. I don't know what Stan has. I know that was me and John and...
Yeah. Stan's survival is a D6 as well. His stealth is a D8, though, so you got Stan to be a...
Oh, okay, so we do have...
Yeah, Stan could be your scout. Lookout is going to use Notice. And it's the survival and the lookout are the ones that, like, survival can, with a raise, you can get a benefit to everybody else in the group for the journey. And with lookout, with a failure, there's potential injuries of running into dangerous situations, and fumbles where you take a lot of injuries.
Definitely concerned about cutting my headphone cord.
Can you just put it over your shoulder?
Oh, maybe. It's like
up?
not very long right now.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of reaches to where I'm sitting. So it keeps hanging like right in front of me. Maybe if I just turn a hair. There we go. That'd be sad.
Why is Jeff not responding anymore? Oh.
Yeah. I don't have any backup either, so...
Oh, shit.
I'd be
That is
waiting for them to ship.
All right, I'm done with my skills. I am good at fighting. I've also got some, just a smattering of stuff at D6, basically.
Okay. You also will gain your loot, your gear. You'll be starting with 150 gold, half the normal starting value, because you're
150 gold.
And most things you should be able to drag and drop, and they'll populate properly in the weapons tab.
All right.
Or the gear you may have to add, but the gear you don't have to add any information for it. So let's see here.
All right. What am I gonna get? I am gonna get me some armor because I know I've played in Kevin's games before. So,
Well, I think like the news has come back of like Caius was a big presence, literally and figuratively, in the community. He was notoriously thin-skinned, but liked to taunt people. So the big burly kind of bully who had lost his entire family to the Bullets. Within the last week, Saul and Stan and Lyria returned home with his body, and his body had to be the head severed and then had to be laid to rest. And I think you guys would have had to call for everyone's favorite priest of what do you call it? Of St. Cuthbert, Brother Edric.
Oh, and Kevin, you know what? Saul would have liked to attempt to spread a rumor that Caius was killed like around this treasure or looking for this treasure. So that, I mean, it's kind of true.
Yep.
I mean, but it was ghouls, but I want to make sure that people are maybe a little leery of heading out to go look for it while we regroup.
Okay.
When they see such a big, burly, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
To like generate a rumor, or I don't know what there's a role
well,
for it.
What I'm planning on doing is to segue into tonight's session. We're actually going to start with you guys each selecting a downtime action, And what you could do is use your downtime to carouse.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I have to heal. I have to...
Oh, shit.
Healing is...
Yep, so if you rest, then you... During the week, there will be healers, because like one of the upsides to the winter plague was that there's a ton of people who have training in medicine now, and with some elvish herbalism as well too, thanks to Chael's insight. So that means that you guys, why don't we do this here? Like, Jeff, I'll roll a d6 for you.
Great.
Jeff's got his hands full tonight, so I'm
DM Kev will
making
generously roll for me.
Yeah, like an old school DM. Let's see if my luck translates over. All right, so first thing we need to do is just roll a d6 roll. Man, I don't know why. Fucking thing. Do you guys find that the character sheets want to follow your cursor around too?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I get problems with it.
It is such an irritating fucking bug right now.
Yeah, when you... It's like a resize thing.
Yeah, like it's just...
I've got it too.
If I've got a character sheet open, it doesn't matter where on my screen I go, it automatically zips over there, so to get into the anything else, I need to close the damn thing. Anyway, here we go. So this is the roll for one of the healers to try and support you, Jeffrey. Oh, and I'll put an exclamation mark. I got a 4. Success. You got +1 to your natural healing check, which will be a vigor check here. Now, do you want me to roll your vigor check for you, or you want to roll?
Oh, sure, yeah. I was just closing windows so I can see what you're doing.
Your vigor's awful.
Oh, it's terrible. Is it? Oh, it's a D4.
D4.
Oh, yeah. And I have a wound.
Yep. So, let's see here.
It's rough.
I mean, one of the things that might happen is... yeah, shit. You do have a cleric coming in, so you may be able to meet with Brother Edric at the funeral. It would require a donation or a favor to the priest of Church of St. Cuthbert, but he could probably cast a healing spell on you. And then it's gone, right? Well, let's see here. Let's see how you do. No +1 for the modifier. There we go. And 2. You want to spend a Benny to re-roll?
Yes, please.
Okay. Re-roll with a 1. Submit.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck!
It's like I am rolling.
Your wound, I think, got infected.
Oh.
Hold on here. Let's see. So, oh man.
All might die yet.
Yeah, no kidding. So, how did your characters die? Well, one died in combat. The other one of sepsis.
Yeah. Died 2 weeks later in town, unable to make a vigor roll.
So actually, yeah, it has been just you've taken a turn for the worse, you know, and you're actually at 2 wounds now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Arlen, what do you see Sophie's role being as a refugee? Where do you think where in the community do you think she came from? And what do you think she's been doing for the past, 8 months that they've been refugees? Is she involved with the Silver Boule, the running of the Silver Boule?
Maybe. I think she's sort of an organizer type, right? Okay. That she's kind of figured out a way to make herself useful by getting everybody to kind of, distribute food effectively. Maybe that's part of her thing is that she's, working on rationing. Sure. Since it seems like there was some pretty hard times without the harvest and all that sort of stuff.
When with new things coming in from the with the Churnet now open and the Woldecott open, now you guys can actually get some other supplies in. And thanks to Chael, it won't be long until you'll have at least a harvest from the fields around Thurmaster as well, too. So long as the lizardfolk don't march on it. Boy, after running that battle on the weekend, it'll be a pretty fun system to use for lizardfolk invasion.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then, Stan, I think Steve-O, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I think, Stan, what you've been likely doing is your usual sort of like skulking around, you know, that
Digging ditches.
yeah, trying to steal eels from fishermen and stuff.
Yeah.
So what you would see, Saul is sort of the heavy in the tavern. He's the one who sort of keeps keeps people in line for when they're gone. And I think Sophie, what you would have known is that over the last little while, Saul has taken quite ill. Like he came back injured. He was part of the expedition that went with Caius. And I think it's been Lyria who's been trying to tend to you. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll give you an extra... to be honest, I don't think a 1 wouldn't have made a difference for either of them. So even if it was Lyria and I got a raise on my wild dice, I still wouldn't get a 3 and a fumble. So...
Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have spent my conviction.
You can't if you spent at least some of your conviction for the first vigor, yeah, you would have.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When we rolled the first one, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah. Because you got 2.
I'll save it.
You know what I'll do here? Just a reminder. Let's conviction will put in ochre. So you got 2 points of conviction, and Stan has 1 point of conviction as well. Then what do you think? Arlen, how is Sophie? Her gear coming together?
I think I have pretty much everything.
Excellent.
So we're not doing a class edge, and no, not an equivalent either.
No, you'll be. You guys are effectively playing as 0 level characters right now.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you'll think it's a suggestion. I can't remember if it's in the core rulebook or it's in one of the adventures, but it's a suggestion they had in it, and I was like, oh, this would be a really cool way to model, the non-heroes becoming heroes kind of thing for these characters.
Yep.
So
cool. Then I think I am all done.
All right. So what? I guess both Stan and Sophie have an opportunity to select what they wanted to do with their downtime. And let's see here. They can try and make some money. They can gain conviction. They can, let's see here. They can carouse, spend some money to try and carouse. One of the things that Saul and Lyria did bring back is money as well, too. And that's something else that you could consider, too. Oh, yeah, carousing is an opportunity to get a favor. And if you're able to get a favor from, say, Towster, he may be able to identify one or more of those magical items that you guys found.
Oh, right. That would be a good idea.
Yeah. Otherwise, no one's got an arcane background yet, so you can't research to prep another ability. And Saul was the only one who needed to rest. And unfortunately, he's got a fever now. So, Stan, what do you think? Do you want to... Or you could train as well, too. You could spend this time... You select a skill, and then you get 1 free reroll with that skill. And that lasts... Let's see here. It gets 1 free reroll and failing. Oh yeah, you get a free reroll on it. Oh, this is actually... Okay, training is way better than I thought. So it's a little oddly phrased, but when you select your training, afterwards you get 1 free reroll when failing that skill or attribute for 1 entire encounter. So basically you get free rerolls with that 1 skill for the duration of 1 encounter.
Oh, and you don't have to basically trigger it until you fail with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not once. That means for the entire rest of the encounter, you get a free reroll with that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's way better than what we have been. It's not like just an extra Benny. It's a much more effective thing. So, Stan and Sophie, you guys could carouse to try and get a favor, and maybe get some of those magic items, the spells or these potions, and the scrolls identified. You could center to get conviction. You could train, or you could earn. You try and use your skills to try and earn a little extra cash. What are you guys thinking?
I'm not too worried about convictions. What do you think? I wouldn't mind making some money, maybe doing a little bouncing or something like that. Get some more gear. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like let's see, how much money did you guys actually find hoarded by
It was
those
a
fools?
few hundred silver, maybe, and then some number of gold. John put it in our sheet, I think.
Yeah. Let's see.
In our shoes?
Under party loot. You guys got 60 GP, 100 silver pieces, and 11 copper pieces. You have a bow of elven design. That's quite beautiful. There is a potion, and there is a tube with a scroll inside. But you guys, no one has arcane background, so you don't know what that does. So,
Did that check out?
yeah. So what, you just want to earn some cash there, Steve-O? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sort of racking up some cash so I get some more gear.
Okay. So let's say, I think that it will be athletics then that you'll be rolling. So why don't you give us an athletics check, please?
Will do. Do a little bouncing.
Yeah.
All right, athletics. Hold on here.
That's a grappling and whatnot ability, so see how you grab.
Athletics.
Hopefully it goes better than
Then
Saul's thing. Look at that, pretty good.
off.
So you got a success but not a raise. You could spend a Benny and re-roll and see if you can get that raise if you want.
Rock out. Oh, how many bennies do I get? Hold on.
You have 3 Bennies right now.
And with the success, I'm okay, but I don't get a raise. Maybe I don't think I'll spend the Benny. I think I'll take a success.
You'll spend a Benny and try and get a... So you got a success, which means you'll earn 50 gold pieces for the week of work. But if you get a raise, you'll double that.
That's pretty... Okay, raise it is. Here we go. Benny, come on, raise.
Oh, no. All right, so you're Benny. You're down to 2 Bennies. But you have earned 50. You can add 50 gold pieces to your character sheet.
Cool.
Sophie, what are you thinking?
I think centering to try to get some conviction is probably a good one.
So you can add 1 point of conviction to your character sheet as you're sort of preparing yourself for what lies ahead. Now, one other thing I realized with conviction too that we were doing wrong. I mentioned this on the Discord, but when you decide to use your conviction, so you roll the dice for conviction, and then you get to add that to all your rolls for that round, and all your trait rolls, not your damage rolls. But you can also spend a Benny to extend that, keep your conviction going for the next round, and you can keep doing that with your Bennies. So it's a pretty neat and versatile way to make use of your Bennies and to get that sweet flat bonus to your thing instead of just a reroll. So excellent. Okay, so everybody... Oh, and you can also, if you've got you guys don't have classes yet, but if you have a class ability or some other ability that is usable only a certain number of times per day, you can spend a point of conviction and refresh it. So, what... let's see here. So we know that Saul has been taken ill. I think, Sophie... what do you've... Tell me a little bit, and maybe you and Jeff can talk about this. What do you think the relationship is between the two? Because Saul, you know, and maybe tell us a little bit about Sophie's personality to help Jeff decide sort of how he thinks Saul might respond to her.
Well, so she's kind of quiet but strong-willed, I guess, is the way to describe a character like her. That she's not super talkative, but she's definitely, you can tell that she's got that strong and silent type thing going on.
Yep.
When she does talk, she doesn't seem to be particularly persuasive, but at the same time, you can tell that she has that sort of kind of aura of leadership about her almost.
Okay. So, am I correct in thinking then she would be checking in on Saul in like they keep him in the quarters?
Yeah. Well, and she actually has not a great healing, but a D6 in healing, so she can probably be trying to help.
Sure. Why don't you give us a let's see here. Give us a common knowledge check, please.
All right.
Fucking fantastic. Look at that. First roll the character, and you got how many exploding dice?
Awesome.
So, what? Here's what I think that tells us is that you are completely aware of this scheme that they've had going, that they've been going around and asking, because, you know, you may have come in the bar at some point and been like, why isn't Skull walking in the door? And someone else is like, oh, he's going to ask about, you know, that stuff. And you're like, what do you mean what stuff? And I think with a roll that good, because you're out in the community, you've heard, like, the only thing that everyone is talking about right now is this treasure, is the, you know, the grandmother's treasure, I think is what it's been. This has now been like 3 weeks of this stuff making its way through the camp. But as far as you knew, there was the sort of not contested, but there was it was uncertain who it was. You also found that from some of your fellows who work at the Silver Boulet with you, that there was a very violent encounter between some of the local thugs and some of the refugees who work at the Silver Boulet. So and apparently Saul and a couple other folks who were local, local refugees, people who were employed or connected to the Silver Boulet, that they were involved with this. You don't know what happened to the bodies, but they've been, you know, disposed of. This is in, or after there's been at least one fire set on the premises at the Silver Boulet, and there were a family of refugees that were burned to death last year, and that seemed to be by some locals as well. So I think, how do you think Saul and Sophie have been, how's Saul, I guess, been taking to her ministrations? To her kind of checking in on you and trying to get you?
I mean, honestly, I think that Saul, his main flaw is that he's jealous. And one thing that he's happy about with Sophie, he's actually not very jealous of her. So it sort of tames his inherent sort of dislike of people.
Yeah,
is reflex to not like them. But the second thing is, he was sort of getting along with Caius. It wasn't like they were friends, really, but it was sort of someone he could tolerate and talk to and be around. And now that he's gone, I think he's, you know, feeling extra alone again. And so, you know, maybe she's sort of the person that he's latched onto as, like, someone to talk to.
Yeah, because Saul is also... Doesn't Saul have loyalty as well?
Yes.
I think, yeah, so, like, the Saul he's sort of like a son of a bitch to everybody but his friends, and he is, you know, he will, you know, stand and die for his friends or with his friends. So that may be something that you guys have in common, or you've recognized in each other, the fact that, you know, you stand with your own, you know, thick and thin. What you've noticed, Sophie, is that, so with Caius dead, obviously there was a change in Saul's temperament, but also this wound is not getting better. You know, and you've seen, has Sophie lost anyone in the, like, I guess, for one, I didn't get an answer for where Sophie comes from.
Oh, I think she's sort of, like the oldest daughter of a relatively prosperous sort of, like not like a full farmstead, not just, you know, a single kind of yeoman, but like, you know, more like what they had with what's his name, the ranger, Kuiper. Yeah, Kuiper, where it's like, you know, a sort of farmstead, and there's sort of, you know, the sort of working families, and then there's the kind of, not like a full medieval manor, but like that. And that she's the sort of oldest daughter who it's kind of fallen to manage all of this.
She didn't take obligation, so I take it that she doesn't have any children or husband or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What about extended family?
Probably has. I mean,
because the lizardfolk was one place where there was a loss of a large population, you know, a large chunk of the population, and then it was 20% that was lost over the course of the plague winter. So,
then sure. Yeah, I think probably she had some extended family who are now, you know, they've the chaos, they've either maybe some of them have tried to like reach threshold or something like that almost.
Sure.
Is that because something that some of the refugees did?
It could have been, yeah. I mean, we didn't talk about it. What you guys, the heroes, had decided was to try and say, like, hey, some of you guys can stay here. We'll keep you safe for the winter. Some of you guys can go to Kuiper's farm and try and rebuild over there. Your family may have said, and in particular, if they are, remember, like the worship of St. Cuthbert is, it dominates here. So going up to trying to reach a threshold and rebuild their life there in the city, totally. And Threshold is taking because of the Giants Fall district being decimated during the invasion, that whole, they're looking for people to help, bolster the population there too.
Yeah, so I think she has maybe like a younger brother and his family who left for Threshold, and then obviously she hadn't heard from him because there's not enough people going back and forth, but so she kind of hopes that they made it. Yeah,
and that may have been before the winter as well too. So if they got out of like these types of things tend to spread, but one of the benefits of living in a theocracy is that you're, at least in a D&D world, is you are replete with people with what do you call it, the healing cure disease abilities. So I think if your character does come from a family that is worships, I don't know what her particular beliefs are, but if her family has beliefs in that, then you would know that there has been kind of a since Sander Palfrey passed away, his son has really leaned a little more heavily into the religious, and Brother Ederic, who had come to minister to the current Count's father, he's been making himself known in the region too, as have two knights as well, two paladins, Sir Arturius and Sir, was it Percival?
I read it. Depending on when you copied this, I had it on Bergour's sheet. Reynard and Arturus.
Reynard, right. So Sir Reynard, and they've been making their they have been trying to assist with what abilities they have to try and blunt the impact of the winter plague. So I guess the reason I mentioned all that is that you would be aware that to kind of say to lay Caius to rest, as well as Lyria's husband. Brother Ederic is coming down, and he will be performing the a burial as well. It's during the plague, there was just sort of like mass graves that were dug, and people were sort of not disposed of, but interred that way. This may be one of the first proper ceremonies, so maybe it actually might be something even bigger coming. Which means that there will be a lot of people who will be demanding his attention, but Saul's not getting better with what you've got, so you either need to get some kind of magic, which would be maybe a potion, that might assist him. How much cash do you have on hand, Saul?
I don't have almost any cash, but if you remember, I have a ring that was an heirloom of my deceased friend that I would probably not want to part with. So if I guess we could use some cash from the last adventure, but I don't have any actual cash. I'm very poor.
Yeah. Well, after this week, at the end of this downtime period, that cash is going to be reduced to a third. So the reason I ask is because even something to bolster his strength, a potion of minor healing would be 50 gold. And you could get something like that from Baranus or from one of the traders making their way either towards Melbourne or back.
Stan, how much gold you got?
Steve, you there?
I have 86 gold that I'm aware of.
Oh, guess who's buying potions?
All right. How much am I spending?
50.
All right.
Well, depending if you want to heal him up to full. If you want to get him to the point where he, you can see if natural healing will take its course over the next week. You're free to do that. But If you really want to bring him up to full, you'll need to spend 100 gold to get 2... Oh, actually, Arlen, would you give us a D4 roll? Let's see how many potions are available this week. These are rules out of Savage Pathfinder as well, too, adapted. Oh, there is 2! So there are 2 potions of healing that are available. So, what you have in your loot, you guys do have 60 gold in the party loot as well, too. And 100, 100 silver, which would convert to, what, 10 gold?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we could spend basically all the loot and another 30 to get Saul back up to full.
Yeah. And
oh man, all that hard work this week. Well, okay, partner.
Sophie, do you have any points in occult?
I have no points in occult.
That's okay. I was gonna say because that's what you could have used to maybe try to identify at a sip what that new potion is, but
well, we could potentially.
We could just have Saul take the potion and hope that it's a healing potion.
It wouldn't be very hard to convince them. If that's what you're gonna do. Drink this; it'll make you better. All right.
No, I think what we do is we spend all the loot, and I'll spend 15 of mine, and Stan, you can spend 15 of yours, and that'll get us up, get Saul back up to full.
All right. So I'll just adjust your loot here. So you guys have 11 copper pieces, and then you have that elven longbow. If anyone wants to make, like, the elven longbow, you can make use of it right now. It's just you won't know what its abilities are until it's identified. So if anyone is keen on making use of a longbow, longbow has a strength minimum of D8, which means if you don't have a strength of D8, you take -1 to hit for each strength that is below that, but you can completely use it. So, if you guys you purchase that stuff from Baranus, Sophie, I'm going to build on your great roll for common knowledge as well. There's something you noticed as well too. That as you're sort of you get into Baranus' shop, and Baranus' shop has. Let me move over this music here because it's a little creepier than is necessary. There we go.
Well, I don't know.
You're near,
town?
inching closer and closer to death.
Yeah.
So what? Sophie, you get into Baranus' shop, and you may remember that. Let's actually move over to the map of Thurmaster. There we go. Get rid of those guys. Boom. All right, so the store is obviously where Baranus' shop is, and what you guys may remember about Baranus' shop is that's right on the docks. And what you could see on the docks, Sophie, is you've seen that there's been a fair bit of attention from some of the local kind of, I don't want to say troublemakers, but there's been people who have been sort of seeming to loiter down near the docks more than they typically do. You know, and would you give us a notice check, please?
All right, notice.
Okay. What you see is as you walk in, Baranus and one of her, is negotiating with some trader for some of the wares that they brought in. Her, stock person is kind of in the back, so you can't quite get her attention just yet. You have to sort of go over to the, you go over and kind of look out at the river, and it's a nice view from here too. Like it's a nice way of kind of seeing the Churnet. And what you could see is there's a guy who comes in, and that, I think because you're not, hopefully not so naive as to think that there's no smuggling that goes on. But someone comes in and they plunk down some kind of crate, it's a tray-looking crate. So it's about, maybe about 1.5 feet, maybe 1.25 feet long. It's about 1 foot wide, and it's only about maybe 9 inches deep. And it's passed over. They pop it open, and someone who you know, because of your great common knowledge roll, I'm going to assume that you've got a good eye for what people do what here. And it's one of the local refugee, members of the refugee community who's sort of fallen in with some of the, I think some of the laborers. So that's weird that he's here. And he, as it opens up, this guy, the merchant who you don't recognize, seems to let this guy, we'll call him Tyler. Tyler takes one of the things from the crate, stuffs it in his tunic, seals it off, grabs the crate, and then, sort of surreptitiously, or at least that kind of like attempting to be inconspicuous look that conspicuous people do. That's what he does. It's kind of and then makes his way out. And then at that point, Baranus calls you over. You talk to her about the obtaining those healing tonics. You pass over your mixed bag of loot, and she provides you with it's two different size stoppers for it, but you get your healing tonics. And anything else you wish to do in Baranus' shop before you head back to administer these to Saul?
I don't think so. I'm not going to confront her about the smuggling operation that I just witnessed.
When it was out on the dock as well, too. So you've heard things, definitely, that Baranus is involved with some of the shady shit, but the guy didn't bring the crate inside here. He brought it and went somewhere else in town.
That's weird, but...
Yeah. So, then, let's see here. You head back to the Silver Boule, where you can find Saul eagerly waiting. And, Saul, I'm going to get rid of your 2 wounds now.
Oh, do I feel good?
Yeah, one of the potions has kind of a bit of a sharp kind of peppermint flavor to it. So it's sweet, but also a little bit of a spice to it. And the other one has more of a, almost like a flavor of fruit juice that has gone off. I
can just imagine how powerful magic would feel. You've been injured, almost dead, sick for a week, and then drink a couple potions and feel, completely revigorated again.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Pedialyte on a Sunday morning in college.
So you get up and Saul, after consuming these things, you're back to normal.
Oh, thank you, friends.
Fortunately, we spent all the money that you guys brought back, so plus some. So seems like we got to go earn some more. Yeah.
So what would you guys like to do? Now Saul's recovered. Sophie, you've heard all about this plan. Saul's been talking about spreading misinformation for the entire time he spent at sickbed. He's like, spread it around. Tell them how dangerous the rest it is. Make sure no one else goes. And your response is like, no one else is crazy enough to go.
Yeah.
As far as you know, no one's doing that. Like, you do not. This is a hot element that you're trying to convince people not to touch. It's not a hard sell.
Yeah.
At least that's what you think. So, what would you guys like to do next? So, with this first week back, I guess, Saul, what you're thinking is, at this point, you don't know whether Weismar or any other interested parties. I mean, one of the things that will be making their way through here is adventuring parties. Folks that are bound for, Eastdale? Yeah, folks are going to make their way through Millbourne and then head up to Eastdale to try and brave the Great Rock Dale and those Sewell ruins that are in there. There's people hiring on as mercenaries and whatnot, and it doesn't take much, for the grandmother's treasure to be the talk of most towns now. Particularly once Caius gets back. If you're okay with saying what's happened, then, or the reason that stuff happened, then the whole town is sort of a tizzy over it, and there's maybe a couple of ne'er-do-wells who seem to be taking an interest in it. Strangers in town. So,
well, friends, shall we go? Shall we continue this endeavor and try to?
I don't know what else we're gonna do, unless you want to work as a bouncer for the rest of your life. I think
no, of course not.
Well, good.
All right. So, what are there any preparations? You guys still have? You actually haven't even gone a full day, so your supplies are still at a D4 for everything. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're ready to go. Like, if we've procured the money and healed Saul, like, Saul feels ready to go. I mean, he was ready to go before.
Yeah.
So, and now that he's been held up in bed for a week, like, he feels like they've lost their momentum. They need to go as soon as possible, almost.
Yeah, so if what you're planning on doing is, like, by tomorrow heading out, you're not going to have time to sort of ask around. What I might let you do is spend, rather than wasting a whole downtime, you could do a little bit of networking. You could use persuasion, or you could use intimidation to try and ask around tonight, try and get a sense of what, what's going on in town. You don't have to. I mean, there is a risk with that. If you fumble, you get into a scrap, and you're gonna get you might get knocked around, or you might get into an actual fight.
No, I think at this point, like, at least Saul doesn't feel the need to shake the tree. He's just ready to go.
Stan or Sophie, what do you guys think? What you maybe didn't know before, Sophie, is that Saul knows what farm it is, too. Like, the reason they set out is because they learned what farm it was. Lyria is going to hang back the obligations of her. She has a son, or a surviving son of the members of her family that died. So she is unfortunately going to be occupied. So is Shira as well, too. That's Dave's character. She's likewise occupied with her children. You don't know where Indrid is right now, but, he sometimes is hiding out because of people who have lost too much. You know what a pool sharp is? He is effectively a knife sharp. So he is, or shark, he's the one, he keeps taking money from travelers that are going through by playing down his ability with knives and then trying to hustle them for money. So he's been nowhere to be seen lately either. But what do you think? Stan, Sophie, anything? Do you guys want to do any networking tonight, or you just want to get prepped and get out and try and get yourself to this treasure?
I think we got to keep our nose to the metaphorical grindstone and get going.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stan, you feel the same way?
More gold for us.
All right. So you guys have a
more gold for us.
Quiet evening. Saul's the first evening that you're actually watching over the bar, and it's as I described. Like, you're seeing, there's lots of folks in here. And you know what? You probably, because you are quite perceptive, I think you quickly notice that there's more eyes on you than usual. And you might attribute that to the fact that you were quite sick and now you're suddenly better again. You might attribute it to the fact that you had the cash to blow on 2 healing potions, which is no small thing for most of the refugees in here. Or it may be that people heard that you set out for the grandmother's treasure. If that's the case, there may be a lot of people who want to bend your ear. Buy you a drink, as it were.
I think that Saul is eating this up.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. So,
like, if he's the center of attention, kind of in the Silver Boulet tonight, then he is totally eating it up.
Okay.
I mean, part of the reason he's mean and stuff is because of jealousy, but nothing to be jealous of when you're the center of attention.
Oh yeah. So there's tons. There's dwarven adventurers. There's or dwarven mercenaries. There are half-elf travelers. There are halfling pickpockets who are all intent on buying you drinks. What I'm going to get is I'm going to ask you to make a vigor check here to see how well you held your liquor and held your lips.
Oh yeah.
So,
ahead, Kev.
I'll roll for you again here.
Try to do better this time.
Trying. How's that, a 7?
Beauty.
All right. So, although he is, drinking up this this sudden newfound attention, Saul manages to keep himself, he can hold his liquor well enough, so he doesn't let it slip what what everyone's doing. Oh, if everyone could put as well their armor and their parry and their toughness in chat too, just so I don't have to keep asking for that. And if you got a shield, put the number of the shield in brackets. So I know. Okay, and actually, Jeff, I'll look yours up.
Yeah, you got my. I could tell you. It's 5 parry, 6 toughness with 2 armor.
Okay. So, let's see here, Sophie. All right, 5 parry, and I'm sorry, 6 toughness with 2 armor?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so Sophie's got 7 parry, 1 is from the shield, and 7 toughness. Nice. And then Stan. Let's see here. What is yours? Hi, Anna. Anna says hi to everyone. Oh, right, because you're Morningstar, right. Okay, I was trying to figure out why your parry was so high, Steve, but it's because you got an insane fighting skill, and you've got a, what do you call it? A Morningstar, or a shield. So, all right, so then, guys, the thing you need to decide then is how you want to assign the various tasks for the journey. So, who has the best? We need someone to make a survival roll. That will be the navigator. We need someone to make a stealth roll. That'll be the scout. And we need someone to make the notice roll. That'll be the lookout. Stan has the best stealth of all of you, I think. Unless Sophie's got stealth that I don't know about. Yeah, Stan's got a D8, so he might be your best choice for scout. So it's just a matter of which of you guys wants to be, between Sophie and Saul, the navigator, or which wants to be the lookout.
I will do a better job as lookout than navigator. So, Saul, how are you feeling?
I'm D6 survival and D8 notice.
Well, I'm D6 notice, D4 survival. So,
Mm.
And I have a special. I do have a special edge for my notice, which gives me
alertness.
Alertness.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth the D4 penalty on survival.
well, it is a D4, not a D4 -2, so it's not.
That's true.
nothing.
You are right.
And
you
I've
are
got
trained.
minis and conviction, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Worst case, I think we can figure it out. So yeah, I'll do navigator.
Okay, let me once again place a token for our party here, and I think, as is tradition, we'll use the corpse of our first fatality as the marker for this. Because Yason was our travel token, I think, up till this day.
I never told you, Kev, but when you were away getting books right before we started yesterday,
Yep.
John was talking about how much he loved Caius.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, that's... Oh, I felt...
Typical, eh?
It's, it's a tough... Well, I mean, it just... Yeah, with... especially with this low-level play, like, it's sort of... You roll... The acing dice cuts both ways, where
totally.
like you get, because he rolled like a 26 on that first hit, right?
He killed the first one and just like
one single strike.
it.
And I rewatched the session as well too. And the thing is, he blew all of his bennies. He had a bunch of bennies. He blew like 5 or 6 of them on re-rolling attacks because he was so intent on getting the attack.
Right. So he didn't save any for his.
Nope. So that's just if you're gonna live by the sword, you'll die by the maul too. Okay, Anna, come in. Where'd you go, sweetie? The spot with the wires is what obviously gets the most attention. Come on, honey. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Yeah, and I mean, it's also with spending those bennies is what got him that takedown, because he missed like 3 times, and Crumb mentioned that Benny's well spent. It's true, because you guys would have been facing 2 of those things if he didn't make those rerolls.
True. Taking one down was key.
Honestly, I keep saying the praise, but it's one of the things I like about the system so much is the constant sort of like in motion element of your resources. Yeah, I'm trying to tell him, honey. Anna loves the bennies. Hey?
Anna loves the bennies.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then we've got our different characters set down. So we will start with, see how our first day of travel is going to be. I'm going to treat it just like we do in Iron Gods, where it's going to be 4-hour increments, and I'll be drawing encounter cards for each 4 hours of travel, and then once for overnight as well. So first up is going to be Sophie. Sophie, would you kindly give us a survival check, please?
Ooh, that's not good. I think I will spend a Benny and try to at least get a success.
Okay. I'll repeat once more, too, that if you're joining us for the first time and you want to know where these rules are, they are in the Savage Rifts Tomorrow Legion Field Manual. I'm really hoping that they republish these in, if not the Savage Pathfinder Companion, then something else that's generic Savage Worlds, because they're really fun. So that's great. No modifiers to anyone's roll, but you will be making your way towards the farm today, so you'll be able to make some progress on that, what do you call it, on that, trying to find the actual treasure. Then either Saul or Stan can roll. Stealth from Stan. Kev. Oh, yeah. Steve, why don't you give us the next roll? You're rolling for Lookout. Or Scout, rather. Stealth. So give us a stealth roll, please.
Stealth, modifiers, none. Awesomeness. Kablam. Yep.
Success. Okay, so you are forewarned. I draw encounters as normal. They don't get to automatically ambush them, but you are not automatically aware of ambushes. You want to spend a Benny and re-roll that? Try and fish for a raise?
What do you think, guys?
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
Based on how last game went, those bennies are precious.
Well, you know what? Let me try and alleviate some of those guys. It's been more than an hour we've been playing. Everyone gets a Benny.
Beauty.
Yay.
I'll adjust yours for you, Jeffrey. Okay.
Hold the phone.
And then
just because you've already got the success is why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, keep that. All right, and then Saul. Let's see here. Saul needs to make a notice check, and +2 to that. Let's see here. Boom. How do we do?
Oh, Kevin, it adds the 2.
Oh, it already adds the 2?
Yeah, it's on the edges.
Oh, no, the edges don't automatically add.
Oh, they don't?
Oh, unless you've set it up on the... what do you call it? Unless you've set it up on the actual skills?
Yeah, it did add. He rolled a 4, and you added 2 twice.
Oh, okay, so 6, so no raise.
Yeah, no.
Alrighty, so, then success. All right, so we draw things normally for the morning. So, first 4 hours of travel, let's just see if anything of interest happens first. So, if I draw a face card, it means something interesting is happening. Nothing interesting this morning. All right, so... next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to draw some cards, and then we're going to continue on with this dramatic task. So, I'll go left to right here. Sophie's got a 6 of hearts. Saul's got a 2 of spades. Stan's got a 4 of clubs. Clubs? Honey. Clubs means... she's very upset for you, Steve, because clubs means a complication. You can spend a Benny to get a new card. You currently have 3 Bennies.
God. I'll deal with the complication.
Okay, so then is hands up. Anyone want to spend bennies to get a new card, or are you okay with where you are? There's no pending encounter, so you don't need to worry about that. All right, so then first up will be Sophie. So Sophie, what are you thinking of doing? And as a refresher too, you guys can spend. You guys can use support to spend your actions to try and help each other with their rolls if you choose to. You can't use the same skill as someone else in the same round, and you cannot use the same skill back to back. You need to switch it up between them. So, Sophie, what are you thinking?
I am thinking that I will use my knowledge of the region to try to figure out, based on what Saul knows, kind of where we need to go and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Try to, figure out, like, okay, this is the right path, that sort of thing.
100% by that. Go ahead and give us a common knowledge roll.
All right.
Look at that. Pretty good.
Nice.
You want to spend a penny, or are you good?
No, I'm good with a success.
All right. So, these are, the way you've described your lands, Sophie, I'm kind of picturing that they're probably, like, equidistant between Palfrey's Keep and Thurmaster. You know, a region where you're not, I pictured that the Palfreys, when they first moved from, the Thornwood over to here, it would have been their immediate, sort of vassals or whatever, or like the people, the ones who are going to be paying the most to them. They would be situating their farms right around there because it's easy to collect taxes and whatnot. And the ones that are sort of the like demi-nobility, like what your character's family is probably a little further away so that you can have lesser families, as it were, working for you. You need the space to be able to grow that kind of domain.
Yep. Makes sense.
So this is almost, and the thing that probably surprises you, how old is Sophie?
I think she's still.
If we want to fully embrace random shit too, we can take a look at the Pathfinder random age thing, see what class you think she's going to go into and randomly generated.
The problem is I don't know what class she's going to go into.
Ah, interesting. Well, here, actually, let me ask you this. One of the neat things they do is they divide it into, like, classes that require a lot of training and classes that do not. Do you think she's something that would be going into, like, a barbarian? You're not going to, grad school for a barbarian,
Yeah.
Whereas for a monk or a wizard, and same thing with a sorcerer. Sorcerers are not going to, like, getting their postgraduate degrees in it, whereas being a wizard, being a monk, it requires years of study. Other professions, not so much. So
Yeah.
Barbarians and sorcerers often are younger at the start of their adventuring career because they've required less time to be, like party ready, as it were.
I think that's probably younger at the start of the adventuring career is a good way to describe what Sophie would be.
Okay, so then I grab my copy of Pathfinder, and where that is, it's so weird. I've been using the Pocket edition so much that my like regular sized book feels insanely huge. Very big, very, very big. I could look this up, but I've already spent. It's my sunk cost in flipping around through the things. So I'm like, fuck it. Found it. There we go. Humans. Okay, so if you're thinking on the younger edge, it's 15 years plus 1d4. That's for barbarian, rogue, sorcerer. Bard, fighter, paladin, ranger is plus a d6, and cleric, druid, monk, wizard is plus 2d6.
I think I will do plus 1d6.
Okay.
That also sort of fits with the thing about her having a close family that's old enough to have gone off to the threshold and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think. So 1d6 plus 15.
18. All right. So you have, you've spent a lot of years traveling these very lands, right? Like traveling the region between Thurmaster, going to town, as it were, is often, it means going to Thurmaster.
Yep.
And so you've traveled past these lands many, many times in the summer. Did you take any points in riding?
No.
Okay, yeah, so, which makes sense for the region.
Yep.
Because the mounts are such a rarity in here. Okay, there we go. What you can see is that, the towns or the farms that you recognize and that you remember from before are dilapidated, and they're like ghost towns now. One brutal winter of this, the fields are overgrown. The fences are poorly tended. Some of them have the farmhouses have been burned out. So it's almost like walking through a eerily calm post-apocalyptic version of your homeland. If your mind goes to what the state of your home estate would be like, how does that make you feel?
I think it's kind of like it's been long enough that even though that was where she grew up and all that sort of stuff, it's like that's not really home anymore almost. Yeah. Because especially after the rest of her family left for Threshold, that if she has a home, it's either in Thurmaster with the refugees or it's wherever they are, basically.
Wait, the strange thing, too, is just from having driven across the prairies so often in the spring and summer, one of the noticeable things that would be different is the smell. You'd smell the wild grasses, you'd smell wild flowers and things like that. What you don't smell is fertilized fields. Right? Like it's like you're walking in an alien landscape from what you experienced. That's one of those things you probably wouldn't miss necessarily. But yeah, I mean, it's just another sensory reminder. Steve-O, what is Stan thinking of doing to try and contribute? So you got to pick a skill that is helping you track down where this farm is, and it cannot be common knowledge.
The same one I used or common knowledge, or the same one I used last time?
No, it's because Sophie used it. You can't use the same skill as what someone else has used. So what narratively do you think that Stan is doing to contribute towards finding this place?
Let's see here. Maybe he's gonna go up and can he like climb up to a hillock and maybe do a little survival check for a little scanning of the landscape.
Survival. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like maybe following tracks and the lay of the land. I'd buy that. Yeah. So Steve, go ahead and give us a survival check. Now, I don't know if you've actually got survival, so you may need to make an unskilled check then.
No, I've got a 6 in survival.
Oh, do you? Okay, perfect. Yep, then you're good to go. Give us a survival roll.
Here we go. Hit it. Boom.
With a raise. Look at that. Pretty awesome. All right. So, what you see, Stan, is there are quite a few tracks that are in here, and actually relatively new ones as well, too. For one, there are some uneven, almost shambling tracks. Let me turn this down here. Let's get that creepy one back up. There are the same shambling, like wearing one boot and wearing a barefoot, or having a barefoot, tracks that were similar to what those undead farmers were like that you faced in the week or so before in your last venture out. You can also see that there are a lot of tracks of some kind of canines, and quite big ones. Some of them have also left small scorch marks on the passing, what do you call it? The passing to vegetation. Almost as if they brought a torch too close to them. Okay. And you can also see that there are boot prints. And these boot prints, because you rolled so well, they're coming from Thurmaster.
Okay, cool.
So your expedition may not have been...
on the leaves.
Oh, what's that, Steve? Go ahead.
The burn marks on the leaves, would that be from anything else, like a certain kind of undead that has like sort of like acidy flesh or anything like that?
Do you have any occult? Any training in occult at all?
No.
Okay. With this one, because you guys are fledgling adventurers, I will let you roll untrained, Steve, for this one. Let's see if you...
So is that just a D4?
Just click on untrained. Untrained is D4 minus 2.
Unskilled, there it is. Okay. Boom. No.
Yeah, success. So, I mean, one of the things you've heard the heroes of Harenshire talk about when they've been around the thing is collective bitching about a form of supernatural hound that's found on Howler's Moor that seems to have found its way down south here. When they were traveling out to deal with the Boulay, they ran afoul of these things, and it nearly incinerated everyone.
Oh.
Hellhounds.
Hellhounds. Yeah.
The way that it was described to you guys... yeah, I don't think I've got a handout for them, but... Yeah, I mean, vicious and agile dog or wolf-shaped creatures that seem to be formed of, like, a thin crust of magma surrounding a furnace-like interior that can burst out gouts of flame. You, I think maybe even in passing, heard Rilligo reference how his hands were burned off by them, and only by virtue of Chael's magic that they were actually restored. So,
dang, okay, that's high threat.
If the Hellhounds have expanded down into this territory, that's terrifying, because, I mean, if the experienced heroes were nearly taken out by these things, and I believe they said that it was a pack of like 9 they faced. I think that's how the story went. So
I think Druin said 15.
But Druin said 15. Yeah, of course he did. All right, so yeah, so that's what seems to be out and about in this first, your first morning of travel. Saul, what are you thinking for your travel? Sorry, Steve, did you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay. Then Saul, what are you thinking?
Well, so Saul is feeling really good. He was cooped up in bed, and then he took these potions, and he feels wonderful and physical. And he had a good night in the bar last night. Everyone was, pumping his tires a little bit, and so he's going to use athletics, and he's going to be like a young, well, I mean, he is still a young man. He's only 20 years old, but, he's going to be covering extra ground, and, every time he sees a hill, he's running to the top of it so that he can look around a bit, or, like, same thing with, like, we're going by a farmstead, and there's a barn, and he's climbing to the top of the barn and looking around, like, so he is going to use his athletics to try and help find.
So let's see here. Athletics. Go, no modifier. There you go. It seems as if his enthusiasm is helping everyone along here. Because you're getting a +2 to that result. You guys are only 3 off from finding the farm. So, that was our morning's travel. You guys have been out to about here. Okay, sweetie. Good girl. Then, for the afternoon, let's see if anything interesting happens. Nothing. Then, let's draw cards for everybody. 2. Oh, hold on. We have a complication as well, too.
Yes, we do. I
forgot about that. So, Steve, you've had a complication in the course of your travel.
Dang.
What I need from you, I think that it's going to be a vigor check at -2, please.
Vigor check at -2.
Yeah. Well, this is because you're sort of the outrider here. You're just you may be tuckering yourself out.
Come on, B.
You want to spend a Benny and re-roll that? You got 3 bennies, or you could spend conviction and roll a d6 and add it to that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And how many times can I do that with the conviction?
Once it's done, it's gone. You have only earned 1 conviction over the course of the play so far.
Okay. Let's try a Benny for starters.
Okay. Just go ahead and click on re-roll.
Trait modifier. Oh, wait. Re-roll is re-roll. I don't need to add the trait modifier.
Re-roll. No, you do need to put in -2 again.
Okay. Thanks. Hit it.
Here we go.
Boom.
Still not a success. So,
Okay, well then.
what you're going to be suffering is if you fail, you're going to get a point of fatigue. And fatigue will give you -1 to all future rolls until you get a chance to rest.
Damn it.
So, what do you think?
All right.
It's really bad.
Let's.
You got 2 more bennies left. You could spend another benny and re-roll if you like.
So D6. I have to. Basically, I'd have to roll a 6. Though, is that right?
Yes.
To succeed?
On one or either one of the either your vigor or dice or your wild dice. What do you think? You feeling lucky?
Oh gosh. Bennies are. What if I just use the? Okay, I better re-roll. Come on.
Okay.
-2. Benny.
Yep. Come on, down to 1 benny.
Ah,
Oh,
fuck.
All right. So your best roll so far is a 6, or it's a 2. You could spend conviction and roll a d6, but it's not a guarantee. You need to roll 2 or higher to succeed. But the guys can tell you how clenched conviction can be in more deadly circumstances. Oh, you spent it already.
Yeah,
Nice. All right. So you have
I don't want that -1.
0 conviction now. All right. Stan is just determined to not see this slow him down. All right. Now, for the cards we've drawn for our afternoon travel, guys. Saul, you got a 6 of clubs. You want to spend a benny and get a new card?
Sure.
Okay. Out of 2 bennies. And your new card is King of Hearts. You're good. So, Saul, you will be up first this afternoon. What do you think is the next one you're going to use?
Well, I think that I definitely think that he's gonna be thinking we're getting close, and so he's just gonna be all eyes. He is gonna try and use notice.
Nice.
Maybe from some of the stories over the research we did previously, he managed to learn of a couple of, landmarks or something, something specific, like, I think there's an oak tree that, has a bent arm, or, like whatever it is.
Yep.
So he's eagle-eyed looking for these landmarks that he was told about.
All right. So I'll check a notice for him. No modifier.
Jeepers.
Fumble.
Oh my goodness.
So one of the upsides is that Saul, his enthusiasm has definitely helped carry them forward. Unfortunately, I think that Saul is just so... Maybe he buys into some of the... it was the flattery from last night, or whatnot, that he's just bought in like as if he's destined to find this thing.
Right.
So
I got this.
finds a tree that he just is certain is the one that they should find, and it actually leads them off in the wrong direction. So what this means is I think you actually lose tokens here. Hold on. Critical failure reduces it by 1. All right. So you guys are unfortunately drawn off in a bit of a wrong direction by Saul's efforts. Next up will be Stan.
What this time?
So what are you thinking this time? You used survival last time, and Saul has already used notice. What do you think?
Well, I've used. Okay, well, I've got this stealth. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna be a tough sell for me to say that stealth would help you find this thing.
All right. What about athletics? What about doing a little bit of, as you suggest, outriding? So I sort of run around a little bit.
Well, you see the bit of I think what Saul's like, it's the crooked tree. This is it. Come on, this way, and you guys lead along. And you end up sort of getting distracted, like not sideline, but you follow a creek for a little bit, and then you go through a copse of trees, and then you find yourself looking back at the exact same farm that you came from before, and you're like, oh, shit. So Stan maybe says, you know what, let me run ahead for a little bit while we reorient here. So Stan, give us a athletics check, please. No modifier.
Alrighty. No mod. Good luck.
Go. Success. So you're back on the path. You find where you were when you saw that damned crooked oak. Sophie, what are you thinking? So we've seen athletics and we've seen notice made use of so far. And you used common knowledge last time.
Yeah, I used common knowledge before. I think maybe what I'll do, rather than trying to get successes, I will try to encourage the guys for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say that, you know what? I know that we're not there yet, and we're all, hungry and tired, and our boots feel like they're pinching because they don't fit right and all that sort of stuff. But we're going to get there tomorrow, and I'm sure that we can do it. And Saul, I think I know you're feeling good. Just, stay level-headed, stay the course, and we'll get there. So I'm going to try to encourage Saul for tomorrow.
Let me give you a couple options here. So what I'll let you do is you can encourage, because it sounds like you're talking to everybody. You could, on a success, pick one of the two guys. On a raise, you could pick one to get a +2, or you could split the difference, give a +1 to each. Or you could take a multi-action penalty, a -2, roll twice, and have that apply each individually to each of them.
See, the problem is I'm already going to get a -1 from tongue-tied, so...
Oh, here's another thing. Conviction lasts for your entire round. So if, for instance, you wanted to spend conviction, you could roll, see what your bonus is, and then if you get a +2 or more, then you've got a net... if you get a +3 from your conviction, you've offset all of your penalties, including a multi-action one. You could make a roll for twice, and you could spend a Benny to extend the conviction bonus into the next round.
Very tempting. Very tempting. But
if there is danger to be found at this farm,
having conviction could be really helpful.
Conviction's pretty freaking helpful, especially if you get it early, spend it early on in a round or in a combat.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do, I'm just going to do the regular persuasion -1, and I'm going to see if I can't get a raise and encourage both of them. And if not, I think Saul is the one who I'm focusing on.
Love it. Go ahead and give us a... Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
You want to spend a Benny to reroll that?
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
Raise. So what do we get? Do we see Saul get +2, or do each of the guys get +1 to their next?
No, I think each of the guys can have a +1. I'm feeling generous.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's great. So as you guys are sitting around the fire that night, Sophie has really heartened you, She often finds herself stumbling over her words, but this time she's found them, the precise things to say, So let's see how your evening goes. So the evening...
For the record, Saul is jealous of this. For the first time in their friendship, he wishes he had made the rousing speech around the fire. He's like, that was such a good idea.
Love it. Yes! Joker! So I think I draw 2 and I combine them. Let's see. So let me confirm that. If a card's a Joker, draw twice more and combine the results. Love it! Alright, what do we got here? Come on, spades. Nope, not hearts. Come on, spades. Damn you, spades. Alright, so what this means is strangers and treasure. So.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to recall.
Joker working for us. That's good.
Yeah. And it makes your remorse a better story as well, too. So, all right. So I think, guys, let me shuffle the deck again. I think that, so you guys, you have a campfire. It's still spring, so like the evening, especially out here in the open, is quite cold. Do you think, would you look for a farmhouse to try and camp in, or would you just, look at a barn, or you just, make camp wherever you can find? What do you guys think?
Well, there's
probably an abandoned structure would be the best thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
There's so many around, it would
Yeah.
make sense to try and find one.
Yeah. Would Steve and Arlen, would you each give me a D20 roll, please?
A D20?
Yes, please.
Alright. No, thanks, Jeff. Okay.
Okay. 5, so it's a 13 and a 5. Thank you, guys. And... oh, interesting. So I rolled for random things. I got old and mysterious for the stranger that you're going to meet. So I think oh, I know what it is. So what I think it's going to be an old woman. So you guys are sitting around in your, in the farmhouse or whatever that you guys have made use of. This place, it's damaged, but not. It hasn't been like burned to the to the foundation the way that some of the others have been. So the furniture has been smashed, as is often the case, and fortunately, it's been a season since whatever band of lizardfolk broke in here. But what you hear is from somewhere outside in the dark. You can hear a woman's voice. Hello? Who is in there? Friend or foe?
Friendly.
We're very friendly people.
Have you room by your fire for one more traveler?
I think so.
Sure.
Yeah. Why don't you? Yeah. Sure.
So, the person who walks in she's probably in her, I think she's probably in her 50s, but she looks very, like she's very, well-traveled and kind of fit for her age. And she's actually, she looks to be Backloonish, which is a ethnic group of humans. Backloonish, yeah.
Cool.
That you don't see that in the northwestern regions of Flanace and sort of the much further to the west is where you find the Backloonish. You know what I'm picturing her as is the actress. I can't remember what her name is. Who plays the senator from in the Expanse? The Iranian or Persian actress. She's got dark hair that's pulled back, but she's wearing very well worn and very comfortable traveling clothes. And why don't you guys? No one has religion or faith yet, do they? Nope. Give us this will be a common knowledge roll at -1, please. Everyone can go ahead and make this roll. Jeff, I'll make it for you.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay, Sophie, holy shit. Saul's got a crit failure again.
That's 3 already today.
Yeah. This happens when you leave it in the hands of the DM. Jeez.
Yeah, he's gotta kill you.
Steve-O, you want to give us a common knowledge roll there?
Sure.
Okay. So, Sophie, you're going to have to tell us why this means so much. You got a raise on this. It is, I'm trying to find the symbol on my, here it is. So this is the symbol, guys. Let me try if I can hold it up. It is a symbol right there. Here. So it is a circle with a circular medallion with a line cut across it with a crescent moon facing down. And you know, Sophie, this is the symbol of Farlon, the traveler, the god of travelers. And let's see here. I'll tell you. Yeah, the god of horizons, distance, travel, and roads. It is very unusual to see. This is Farlon is not a Backloonish god, so to have a Backloonish woman, she may have been. I mean, she may have been inspired by this at some point to travel so far from where her people normally call home. And I think with a roll that good, you remember hearing there was a man, an old priest of Farlon.
And he stayed with us, but then, he stayed at our farmstead even, and I talked to him, and then it was when I went into town in Thurmaster, and I heard he had gone missing, and for some reason that has stuck with me, that it seems so close together.
It's weird, because he's been, it's coming up on 3 years now that he's been missing. And you've seen nothing of him. That's fucking great backstory stuff. You can have a Benny for that. Yeah, those who worship him are any non-evil travelers, poor merchants, caravan travelers, and vagabonds. So though your family may have come from those who venerate St. Cuthbert, perhaps if this guy stayed with you, maybe that's something that, if that character was to have a theme song, it would be Pearl Jam's "Off He Goes," I think it's called, or there he goes.
Yeah, Off He Goes.
Off He Goes. It's a fucking great song from Merkenwald, but
it's a good song.
Yeah, but that's someone and so how does Sophie react to seeing this traveler Farlon? There's no temples to Farlon in Heronshire. This man who you would connect. Do you have a name in mind for this guy? We've actually never given this priest a name, I don't think.
I do not have a name in mind.
That's great. We can,
but
we'll sit on it for now.
Yeah.
So,
but I will say, in that sort of way that makes it obvious that there's something that you want to get at without necessarily coming out and saying it. I'll sort of say, "Oh, you wear a holy symbol around. Can you? Is that a symbol of Farlon?" And
the smile on her face, like a megawatt smile, that just tells you she recognizes that there's the way that your inflection asks that question. She knows that a fellow traveler, and she says, "It is my friend. You are well-traveled, well-educated, or both." She gestures at one of the sort of broken stumps that you guys are using, or that's sitting to the side. And she says, "May I?"
Of course. Sit down and join us.
She drags over the stump and sits down with you guys, laying down her pack and whatnot, pulling her travel cloak back. And she says, "Oh, I saw the light of your fire from a distance, and I thought that perhaps that some had come back to reclaim this land. But," and she looks around, "I see that she sort of eyes your travel packs. I see that you are travelers as well. Where is it that you are headed?"
Further into the wasteland to chase our ambitions, as it were.
Oh? What ambition might that be?
Well, this one here, and Sophie gestures to Saul, has great plans, and they involve, and she sort of realizes that she might not be supposed to tell everybody about.
Yeah, Saul is probably glaring at her.
And then sort of trails off and says, we've got ideas to, of course, rise above our station and all that. It's we're hoping to reclaim some of this land eventually, but it's going to take a while.
Indeed. I have not traveled here before, but you can see this was once a an arable and a land of many homes. It was lizard folk, the scaly ones. Those are the ones who came?
Yeah, lizard folk. And the plague didn't help.
I've heard as well. You live locally then?
Yeah, we're all working in Thurmaster, trying to make our next steps.
Then, she looks around. She says, "You are no army, and you're traveling away from the mire. Interesting. I heard tell of a treasure said to be out here. Would you be treasure hunters?" And she puts her hands up and she says, "I have no ambitions for such things.
Well,
I am passing through." "Oh, indeed. So you search for the grandmother's treasure. Is that what they're calling it still?"
Yeah, that's what the people of Thurmaster seem to be calling it.
I found another, or I encountered another group traveling. A mix, humans and halflings. They seemed, as she looks around, like to be equipped similar as you are. They were less welcome to sharing the road with travelers. They would be,
I know the type.
Perhaps a day ahead of you. So, tell me, do you seek the treasure for yourself, for your families?
We actually seek the treasure for the rightful heir. A young
Indeed.
girl.
Now that is a part of the story I did not know. The grandmother had family.
Yes, a granddaughter.
Then, do you have any connection with this girl? Are you kin to her, or?
No, we are not kin.
And yet
Only
you...
kin by region.
I see. I've heard that the people of this region, a friend, an old friend, spoke highly of the people of this region. I had come to see the land for itself, and when I had heard that he had gone missing, I'm glad to see that he was not mistaken in the impression he drew from your people. It is admirable what you do. Forgive me, my manners. And she nods, says, I am Tahira, of the Farwalker. Blessings on you and on the road ahead of you.
Thank you, Tahira.
I am Saul. I do not have any extra fanciness to my title.
Saul
seems
sufficient then. And you, young lady?
I'm Sophie.
Sophie, well met. And you, big sir? And she turns to you, Stan.
Who, me? Yeah. Well, I'm just out to, I'll make a name for myself, I think, for the most part. But so far I found myself these new friends, and I can see there's some people that need help around here, so I don't mind helping out.
That is good. If you do intend to make a name for yourself, though, perhaps sharing it would be a start.
Oh, sorry, I'm Stan.
Well met, Stan. Thank you. So, if you guys have anything you want to ask her about in particular, she can turn the conversation towards that. Otherwise, there's two things that you're going to take away from your meeting with her. One is that she is remarkably well-traveled. She has been all over the Flanace. So what you guys can do is, as a party, you guys can bank one reroll on common knowledge. So, and it'll function exactly like the training thing. So when you choose to trigger it, it'll last for the entire encounter, and you'll get a free reroll with every common knowledge roll you make in that encounter.
For the record, Saul is super jealous of her child.
You can call it under the, if you're going to enter it into the party resources or whatever you're going to call it, you can call it Tahira's Tales, and then put maybe in brackets free reroll on common knowledge rolls. And you guys can tell me when you want to trigger that resource. The other thing that she will grant you, having heard what you intend to do and what your, the reason for embarking on your quest, she is going to leave you guys with one healing potion each.
Wow, that is huge.
So each of you will have, I'll put that on your character sheet for you there, Saul.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Sure, I'll be drinking it later tonight.
There's a chance. So it's a minor healing potion, so it'll heal you for 1. All right. Is there anything else you wish to ask of her, or you want to direct the conversation towards for her, or is it otherwise just a pleasant evening of hearing stories from her?
That's what all Saul would be after.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only thing Sophie will at some point kind of mention that she knew didn't know well, but she knew the other priest of Arlen. I
think
just offhandedly a little bit, and that
his name will be Friedrich.
Friedrich? Cool. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do.
Bless you. And what she'll confirm to you is that, for one, like it seems like she's got many tales of Friedrich. So she, she clearly has shared the road with him at some point too. Mm-hmm. And it's seemingly for quite some time. Like they talk about, travels in the Great Kingdom. Tales, traveling all as far north as the, not the Duchy of Ten, the Tiger Nomads, the lands of the Tiger Nomads, way to the north. And she has heard exactly as you have as well, too, that not only has Friedrich gone missing, it seems the last he was seen was coming into Heronshire. So their order, having lost one of their, a valuable and learned priest, traveling priest in particular, is a big impact, big problem. And you get the sense that her trip here may be more than idle wanderings. Mm-hmm. Anything else you wish to ask her about?
I think Sophie would be interested in where she's come from also, if she might have come from Threshold. And obviously she wouldn't really know, like, Sophie's family directly, but she might be able to say, like, oh, yeah, there were a couple refugees who arrived or something like that, if she knows.
Yeah.
She'd be interested in that.
I'm going to roll common knowledge for her. Because I honestly don't know. It would be a real coincidence, but I mean, Farlon works in mysterious ways. Mm-hmm. Right? So let's roll this here. A 9. I got a raise on it. She's heard of refugees coming in. She has traveled through Threshold on the way down here. Mm-hmm. and they have one of the benefits of it's been almost around the time when Frederick went missing. There was the invasion of or the war with the giants that caused such damage. In the years since then, they've just had to deal with displaced people in general in the city. And she has not heard them or seen them specifically, but she has heard that, you know, like the lot of refugees, in having seen what people have been living like in Thurmaster compared to that, they're much better off in Threshold.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. And Sophie will definitely thank her, and, you know, she doesn't have really anything
And they
like a signet ring or something that might be able to be passed on. So, and she probably doesn't have. So I think she'll just have to, you know, say thanks and kind of say, well, that's good to know at the very least.
What she will tell you is that her path will go through Threshold again, and if the having learned as well too, the Church of St. Cuthbert, she's coming back from Palfrey's Keep, and the Palfreys have been, you know, a legendary line of paladins of St. Cuthbert, but they're not really part of the church. That seems like it might be changing in recent times. So she will want to consult with the people in St. Cuthbert. She has agreed to deliver news from Brother Ederic as well. So what she will do is, if you know, whatever note or whatnot that you may have, she will bring to Threshold and try and have it delivered to your family then.
So I think what Sophie has is she's got not like a signet ring, but she's got like a on the pommel of her sword, there's like an old, you know, I think simpler than like a full like heraldic crest, but like a particular design, maybe even just a Cuthbert's the cudgel, right?
Yes.
So maybe even sort of like a stylized cudgel.
It's the sigil of Saint, or symbol. Actually, I've got it here. What am I trying to describe it? Remember, the symbol of Saint Cuthbert is the. Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, so that would fit on a sword pommel.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So she's got something like that in the steel of the pommel, and she'll ask that if it's not too much, to ask if Tahira can find anyone of the Horsting clan of that name, that just, you know, tell them that she will pass along she can here.
She will pass along that if she can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the way that she described the setup for refugees there, particularly those who are devotees of the cudgel, the likelihood of them getting it is quite good. Mm-hmm. She feels confident that if they're there, she will be able to pass a word along and tell them how well their daughter is doing. So, when morning comes, she is gone. Before you guys wake, but you find that there is a lovely little, in the smoldering embers of the fire, set a little bit aside, kept warm, there is some kind of a traveler's meal that's like a mixture of egg and bread that is cooked together. So you will have a wonderful, and with a little bit of spice in as well too. Clearly she hasn't, though she's left her homeland, it has not been left behind altogether. Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens in the morning. Nothing. So guys, let's take our mid-session break. Then we'll come back. We'll make the rolls for today's travel. And then we'll see if you guys can't find that Morley farm. So for those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily.
So chat, for those of you on the Discord, I posted about working on minis today. This little guy, let me hold up my hand, is not... Let me see if I can get it to focus on him. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But this little guy is literally the first mini I have ever even started painting. This skeleton archer. That's with a base coat and a wash of darker stuff on him.
Oh, is that your one of your...
This is the first one from the Reaper miniatures. I can't seem to get the camera to focus on it, but he doesn't look that nice.
Put your hand behind it.
Yeah, I did that and it didn't.
Move in just a scooch closer. Yeah, because your hand needs to obscure the background. There you go. Let's see. It's not me. Yeah, it's not me. It's still look.
I don't know. For some reason, my webcam isn't. But yeah, and it doesn't look that impressive because it's just bone colored, so it's basically the same as the gray. On the camera, it looks the same as the gray that it came with. But eventually, I'll have a whole set of minis that'll look more impressive, and I'm sure I'll show those off.
Awesome. All right. So, I think, Steve-O, are you back as well? Oh, Anna's back. Hi, Anna. Hi, sweetie. Here, quit licking my stuff. All right, guys. So, next day will come. Then, we need to decide who is... Oh, let's see here. Who... I think, Sophie, you are our survival. You're our navigator for the day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you give us a survival roll?
Do Benny time.
Okay.
That's better.
Nice. Okay, success. This is how fed up with my nat ones that Jeff is. He set aside his pruning to take charge. Fuck you, Madison. If we get in combat, I don't need you rolling dice for me.
No, I'm half done, or a little more than half done.
Oh, nice.
Tie string now.
Okay. So, let's see here. Then, Saul, so Jeff, you want me to roll for you for your...
This one I can do.
This one you can do, okay. Anyway. So go ahead with your... you're getting no modifier. This is for notice.
Come on. Yes.
Success, okay.
Happy with those. They're not double ones.
Yep, that's pretty good. And then, Steve, are you back, bud? Steve-O, hello. Is he in the Hangout still?
Steve, you're muted if you are back and saying something. You're muted in the Hangout.
All right, so Stan is not back. I'm going to make the executive decision to roll for Stan. Unless Steve tells me otherwise. No, Anna says I have to. Okay, all right, sweetie. Then, let's see here. Oh, gonna get out of this edit thing. There we go. Last chance, Steve. Fail.
Hello.
Yeah. All right, Steve, because we didn't hear from you, I rolled for you. You currently have a fail on your scouting. Would you like to spend a Benny to re-roll that? You only have one Benny left. Right? First off, everyone gets a Benny because we're back from our break.
Yes.
So, Steve, you actually have two Bennies. You want to spend a Benny and re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're back down to one. So what you've got listed there is accurate. Go ahead and click on re-roll, no modifier.
Can you add my Benny? My keyboard is far away.
Oh, sure. Yep. There you go.
What happens if I fail?
If you fail, and I'll tell you, it's not as bad as when the lookout fails, nor as bad as when the navigator fails. A failure, I draw 2 encounters from the action deck, and I choose the result.
So it's pretty bad.
Guys.
I think you should spend your last Benny to re-roll again. Just
all right.
No, I don't think you should.
Oh
shit!
I'm gonna roll a d4.
Because you might need it to stay alive. Keep that Benny.
I think so.
Avoiding the conflict means you don't need the Benny to survive it.
That's my theory. Is that like if you're thinking about efficiency of meta currency spending, right?
Yeah.
Spending it to avoid the conflict means that you don't need it later to survive the conflict, which doesn't
point.
necessarily mean that we won't get a conflict if he succeeds, and he could still even fail the roll with the mini. But
Right.
I think if you run the math, it's probably better to spend it now than to try to spend it later.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some good meta-analysis.
Okay, so then
I'm gonna re-roll.
I'll adjust your bennies down to 0. Go ahead and click re-roll.
You're Bennyless.
Kaboom! There you go. Oh, fuck
Nope,
off.
success. Success. Your wild die got a success.
Oh, okay, good.
So I just draw them normally. So, okay. So for this phase of the travel. Hot damn. I mean, this worked in your favor last time, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. Come on. Spades. Give us a spades. Oh, god damn it. How about this one? Spades? God damn it. We're fucking helpful people. Oh.
In the last, like, I don't know, 6 days or 6 sessions of this, Kev, you've drawn jokers at an incredible rate, I will point out.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. I've got a Joker for most sessions, I think.
Yeah.
So,
and it's only 2 out of 54, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you reshuffle each time too, right? So, like the probability of it resets each time. All right. So, once again, this is going to be something helpful, and I'm going to draw one more card. I've reshuffled to tell you what the timing. So it'll be first thing in the morning, actually. Let's draw cards for our heroes for this turn. All right, so 3 of clubs. Complication for Sophie. Jack of spades. Oh, no, clubs again. God dang. Where's that spades? No, that's clubs. Shit. And 5 of spades for Stan. Okay, so currently, this helpful thing will come in before anyone else. I'm just going to push my door closed. I'm not going to...
Not gonna let Anna run the show?
Just try and calm her down. I actually put all the blinds down too, but she knows there's a dog out there, so... all right, so hands up. Anyone want to spend a penny to get a new card for the day? Yeah, Sophie does.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I will.
Ace of clubs. So another clubs. You want to spend another penny to try another card or what? So I'll adjust yours. Hold on. You're down to 2 bennies now.
Oh, goodness.
What do you think?
No, I won't.
You'll stay with the ace. All right, so ace of clubs will actually be you to start. So what skill are you thinking of using?
Let me think here just real quick. Look at my character. Sure. Try and think about what he would do. Okay, so I can't do what I did last time.
Yeah, last time you used notice.
Yeah, I think what I will do is I had much more success when I was trying to be a go-getter than when I was just, thinking that I knew there and trying to spot these things. So I'm going to put in the legwork again.
Yep.
And, use my athletics. And like I said, I'm doing the same thing. I'm, if there's a hill or a tree or a barn or something that he can get a vantage point, he's climbing up for a better look.
Okay.
He's doing the legwork to contribute to the team.
Sure. So first, let's deal with this. No, let's make your roll first, then we'll deal with the complication. Because the complication might actually result in an effect. What I'd like you to do is give us an agility check, please.
Okay.
Sorry, at -2. At -2.
Oh God.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you? Oh wait, can you do that then, Kev?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so agility. Oh God, that's a D4 as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, Saul is not the best.
You have 2 points of conviction that you're sitting on. Want to spend a Benny every roll, or do you want to spend a conviction and try and get a better result here, or what?
Let's first try a reroll.
Okay. So adjust your bennies down to 1.
Because I mean, conviction, I need a 5 on that.
Yeah.
So let's see if
2? So you need a 2 on your conviction to get a success.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you'll be down to 1 point of conviction, and you need to get a 2 on this here.
D6.
3. There you go.
Yes.
So success, no raise. So what I was getting you to roll for is, as you're sort of stomping ahead in this stuff, what you'd come across is a wasp's nest.
Oh.
And I think that you narrowly miss where this thing is, and you see some of them come up, but you haven't stomped on the nest yet. So you're able to get yourself back. You're not getting stung by them or anything like that. And you're able to warn your allies. One way or the other, you would have been able to warn your allies. And what that means is you get no modifiers to your athletics roll. So you can go ahead and make an athletics check. If you
With +1 from me from last night.
Right, yes, from Sophie's Heartening, yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit. Actually, Kev, can you roll that since it's +1?
Absolutely. Okay, plus
Thanks.
1. Let's see here. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little
Nice.
payback for you. Okay, so going with the just stomping forward, you guys actually, I think at the end of his little sequence there, what you find is that there is a what do you call it? First off, there is a sort of like broken and tilted sign that says Morley Farm
Oh.
for the entrance in. And you guys can see that there is... you're still a little ways off. You're maybe like a mile off from the farm, or a half mile off from the farm. But you can see that there is a small group of 6 people. It looks like, at first you think... Actually, no, with your keen eyes, Saul, you can easily tell it's not kids that are with them. There are 2 humans, and there are 4 halflings. We're sitting around a little fire. Looks like they've cooked, just like a very meager fire. Some just to warm up something for a lunch. They look like they are preparing something, or preparing to do something. They do not. Saul, give us a stealth roll, please. I would have given you +2. Yeah. So because they're sort of keeping to themselves. So they seem to be completely unaware of you. What do you guys want to do? So you come back and you let everyone know you're almost there. It's just a matter of finding the actual.
And are
location.
they at the farm, or are they preparing nearby?
They're about a half mile off down the road, near where like the sign is for it.
Okay, so they're not at the farm yet either.
Not at the farm yet, or they're on their way back from the farm.
I will alert my allies.
Okay.
Do we want to watch and see what they do? In case they've already found the treasure and are leaving with it? What do you guys think? Steve? Thoughts? Or I should say, Stan.
Sorry, my mute was on.
The halflings that she spoke of, and their friends, they're here. They could have already been and gone, or they're just making preparation to go search the farmyard again today. But I've seen them. What should we do?
I think shadowing them, if possible, is not a bad idea, actually. If we can find, essentially set up almost like a blind, if we can kind of follow them towards the farm and then find a place to hide and watch what they do during the day, that's not a bad idea.
Stake out.
Right, and if they don't come this way, we can assume that they've already found it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they head the other way. Sure. let's try.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, we're going to be getting in a scrap with these people.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what? They seem to be actually. It seems as if this is midday when this happens. If you guys are planning on just sort of keeping an eye out for them, let's do this. Let's have Sophie and Saul. We know that you need one more success to locate the actual treasure, but we can save that for the actual place there. We'll step out of the dramatic task. Why don't Sophie and Saul give us stealth rolls? These are to support Stan to set up the thing. I'm assuming you want Stan, who's the best at stealth, to be setting up the blind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So each of you guys just go ahead and give us stealth. Okay, so +1
nice.
from Saul. Nice. And +1 from Sophie. Okay. So you guys... So, Steve, would you give us a roll for Stan? Stealth at +4.
+4, you got it.
Yeah, one of the upsides to the untended lands here is that there's tons of stuff to hide in. And remember, don't put the plus symbol in, just put 4.
Yeah. +4.
Yep. Remember, Steve.
Sorry,
remember, don't put the numbers. Okay, so that actually would have been a 6 with your D8, and that would have been a 8 with the wild die. So 8 was a raise on that. So, yeah, Stan gets himself all hunkered down in there, and he's got an eye on them. There is no way that they are going to be moving. Let me draw for the afternoon. Nothing happening. Okay, so nothing comes wandering up to you guys. While Stan is keeping watch on these things, Saul and Sophie, what do you want to spend your time doing? Are you hanging out in the blind with him so that if you need to respond, you're right there, or what?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's too dangerous for any of us to get... I mean, they already outnumber us. So I think it's much too dangerous for us to just be haphazard here. So
okay,
let's stay together.
So the day fades into evening, and what you can see...
And they haven't moved?
No, they haven't moved all day. It looks like they're getting ready for something, though. Like, you can see them preparing weapons. You can see them, they're bless you. They're putting whetstones to blades. There seems to be what looks like maybe a wizard among them as well. And it is around sunset where you can see they're getting... they seem to be stacking out a bunch of torches together, too. But it might look like they're trying to have a like an evening's reconnoitering, or reconnaissance in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's around... Let me just change here. That's when you hear the first of the barking and a howl from the direction of the farm. And what you can see, Stan, from your vantage is the camp, as soon as they hear this, they seem to have sort of expected and are scrambling amongst each other to try and get things ready. But it seems that the attack is coming faster than they expected. And what bursts out of the tall grass, seemingly having lurked there, and first from one direction, which draws all of their attention, and then from two flanks, is a large pack of wolves that all comes running in. Two of the halflings are the first to fall. They're smashed to the ground, and while you can't see the particulars of it, the spray of arterial blood fills the mist around the camp. There's cries of those getting injured. And then bursting from, as like a second wave, They managed to cut down maybe like 3 of the wolves, or 4 of the wolves. However, then, the largest wolf that you have ever seen, something that would stand with its shoulder at, an even height for a riding horse, comes out. Coal black fur and almost like red, not glowing, but red eyes that are enhanced in the setting sun. It comes racing out, and although the wizard was able to turn its attention to icy bolts, managed to take down 2 of the wolves, it crumples like a straw man, like a scarecrow, under the weight of this massive thing. And there's a sickening crunch as it bites its face off. The whole skull is collapsed in. Ew. From that point, the rest of the fight is pretty much a mop-up. So maybe surprisingly, there is a halfling who is the last remaining. A hatchet in each hand, and it makes every one of the wolves that tries to approach pay dearly. But then you see that massive gray wolf stalks towards, flanked by its allies. The lone survivor of these of this 6-person expedition, surrounded by wolves, and you see maybe it's your ears playing tricks on you. You can hear the cracking and popping of tendons and the snapping of bones reshifting as this wolf transforms slowly as it stalks forward to stand up a horrible combination of human characteristics and wolf. I'd like each of you guys to kindly give us a spirit check, please. No modifiers because you are safely back.
Does this count as a fear
It is
check?
absolutely, yeah, your bravery can definitely kick in here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah, success. Fantastic. And raises from both of you guys. All right, so what I'm going to say with the raise, Saul and Sophie, you guys each get a Benny. So I'll adjust yours for you there, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As you're heartened against this, or by this sight, the little halfling warrior tries to put up a fight, but like almost to add terror to this thing, to drink in more of it, or perhaps just out of pure malice and cruelty. This thing lets him sink some cuts in on him, and it's tough to tell with a wolf's face looking down. It looks like a snarl, but you almost think it could be a cruel and malicious grin, until the blades are just dropped to the side, and this thing comes down and finally, mercifully, ends this little halfling's life. The wolves grab the bodies and drag them off, leaving a gore-filled and otherwise unattended ruined campsite. You can hear the yips and howls as they carry off in the direction of the Morley farm. So none of you guys have been affected by seeing what you witnessed, at least not in a fearsome kind of way. But you think you've seen what they were waiting for.
So Sophie, after the wolves leave, will sort of whisper, "Damn, if we had been smarter, we could have gone while the wolves were gone."
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Shoulda. Well,
You'd estimate there's a pack of about 12 wolves, and then there's that magical wolf as well, too.
Some sort of man-wolf creature.
Well, the thing is one of the most oft-told tales, or at least the epics that Rilligo will sing about, is the heroes of Haranshir's battle with Malfeshnakor. And the way that that's described, Malfeshnakor transformed from a hideous wolf-like creature into a bipedal creature. So there is obviously, I think that, every one of you would be aware of the existence of lycanthropes. But the thing you've heard the most about is this, multiple thousands of years old demon that lurked, 4 days travel to the west.
Yep. Well,
Saul's feeling his resolve diminish. For sure.
Why don't, Sophie, you were the one watching pretty closely there. Why don't you give us a... Oh, actually, no, because Saul's also got the bonus. Why don't each of you guys give us a notice check, please?
Okay.
Wow.
ooh.
So what you can see, Saul, is there appears to be... as you guys are sort of talking over what to do, this attack literally came sort of as the sun was going down. So the sun is down, and the moon is rising. There are some things that were left behind by the heroes.
Oh, we could go check it out.
We could. Seems like we would do that
Quietly, friends.
quietly
Very
and
quietly.
stealthily. Put on our ghillie suits and go, crawl over. Spray ourselves down with the anti-scent stuff that hunters use so that the wolves won't smell us.
Yes.
We've got some female wolf urine that we missed in the other direction.
Exactly.
So who would like to make the stealth check for the team?
Well, hopefully Stan.
I'm hoping Stan will do it too.
Steve-O, you back?
Here I'm back. Yes.
All right.
We
So-
need you to be stealthy, bud.
Stealth it is.
We are avoiding the werewolves.
Go in.
Or something worse
Yeah.
than werewolves.
The raid.
Whatever. Demon.
Amazing.
Demon wolves.
All right, so guys, if you head down there, let me tell you what you're going to recover. So, yeah, and you can hear the sounds of excited barking and howls continue on for this entire period. A half-mile off down the road towards the Morley farm.
Great.
So you reach the camp, and what I'd like is, why don't each of you give me a percentile roll, please? Okay. All right, look at these high rolls, my goodness. Okay, so... what you find in there is, looks like one of the humans may have been carrying it. There is a halberd that seems to have a blade made of... Does anyone have any points in repair at all?
I don't think so.
I think so, okay. It is a different sheen to the metal on it. There is also... a spear, a smaller spear, that likewise has a tip made of the exact same strange metal. And there is a light hammer, likewise made of the same strange materials.
Sorry, what was the old woman's name?
The one you met, Tahira?
Tahira.
Tahira.
Yeah.
Did she say that they were looking for grandmother's treasure? She didn't know what they were up to, did she?
She did not know. She assumed they were because they were carrying similar materials to you, and they were wandering relatively, in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe they were here after these creatures. Or this creature.
or they knew more about that this creature was here. Seems
Right.
like they had some expectation of that this treasure was going to be guarded, unlike us.
Would you give me a 2d4 roll, please, too?
Well, I'm not sure they're guarding the treasure.
They might not be, but we knew that there's lots of danger in the area, but that there's danger right here at the treasure. That seems...
Guys, things left behind by the wolves, you can bump up your water and your supplies dice by 1 each.
Nice.
We also, I forgot, because we spent last night, we need to actually make quick rolls for those and see. So let's do a d4 roll before we do this. I need a d4 and a d6 roll for food and water. Oh, and supplies. So, and what you need is a success. It's just like any other stat. If you got something that's a d4 on your character sheet, you can just roll that, if that's easier.
All right, I will roll for food.
You're good?
And I succeed.
Yep, so food, that means you can bump it up to a d6. Saul, do you have something that's a d4?
Sure.
So maybe water.
Oh.
So your water would have been exhausted, but you found water here, so you're at a d4 for water now. Steve-O, you there?
Yep.
Why don't you give us... pick one of your skills that's at a d4, and go ahead and roll that, please.
Yep.
Any one of the skills that's at a d4.
Boom.
Success. So your supplies are at a d6 now.
Nice.
So you're able to get some more, or scavenge some more supplies from these guys. And then, why don't... Let's see here. Where are we here? F, and... I need 1 percentile roll, please. Okay, 14. You would recognize this one just because it's so common. There is, in the leftover supplies, dropped in the dirt, something they probably could have made use of. There's another Cure Minor Wounds potion here. And let's see here. 8 gold pieces. And then I need 1 more percentile roll, please.
Steve, you want to do this one since I did the last one?
So percentile roll, please, Steve.
Oh, no.
43. Another... it looks like an oil of some kind. Oh. The Friday night train has come in. So then, other than that, yeah, and then you all likewise find another 8 gold pieces on left over here. So, guys, if you were to guess, you'd think that these weapons may have been infused with silver. So there's a halberd, there is a spear, and there is a light hammer. Now, because they are infused with silver, that also necessarily means that these are masterwork, which means every one of these has an additional 1 armor piercing.
Ew.
I do not see light hammer on the weapons list, or there's light mace.
We'll just treat it as a light mace.
Excellent.
So same stats as a light mace, and it'll have AP 1.
So I will take... I guess, what do people use?
So the spear is reach 1, and if you use it with 2 hands, it gives you +1 parry, and it also has a AP 1, but you can use it one-handed. And then the halberd is requires a D8 as total AP2, reach 1, and requires 2 hands.
So, does anybody? So I don't have a D8 in strength, so I could use one of the others.
So
but-
if you don't have the minimum strength, all it means is you just
it's
use
a
your
penalty.
strength. No. Range weapons, you take the penalty to hit. With melee weapons, you do your whatever your strength is.
Okay.
Like if someone with a D4 and a halberd, you could use it. It's just if you hit, you're not going to do more than D4 damage with it.
Okay.
So what do you think, guys?
So Saul or Stan, are you guys feeling strong?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Stan
It
is
seems like we should distribute these weapons because we're not quite sure what they are, but they're probably better than the crap that we've been carrying.
Stan is carrying a Morning Star. So, and Stan's strength is a D8. So actually, what would happen is he would lose 2 points on his parry if he dropped the shield, but you would gain 1 point of parry by using the halberd. Right? Or, hold on, does a halberd grant parry as well if it's used two-handed?
I don't see that.
Okay, then I'm thinking of the spear.
Yeah, the spear uses you get an extra parry if you use it two-handed.
So there's a halberd, there's a spear, and there's a light hammer.
Yeah. So I would like the light hammer because that sort of fits best with what I use. Saul, do you feel like you're up for the halberd, or would you prefer to use the spear or the hammer, or what? What do you think? Or you could use your own stuff and just, carry this crap. But it seems like whatever it is, they did take down a couple of wolves, and they, probably did better than we would have done in the same situation. So,
Right. I like the idea of trying the halberd.
okay.
One thing you would notice too, Saul, because I think you got, just because your incredible bonus for alertness, the wolves seem to take down the things that were carrying the silver. That
Right.
last brave halfling who stood against them did not seem to have weapons that were silvered.
Right. So they were attempting to kill these before their master came in. He fears these weapons. So I would take whichever one. I think we each take one.
So Sophie's taking the light hammer. That means there is a halberd available, and there is a spear available.
Oh, but I think Steve said he would take the halberd.
Oh, Steve, are you taking the halberd?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you want to try it, but yeah.
No, any of them is good for me.
Okay, so
Is spear in the thing?
okay, so
Can you just
I
drag
took
it on
your
the sheet? Or?
yes, if you go to the weapons, I think if they don't, it's easier to just adjust the existing thing than it is. So halberd, I'm gonna drive this in for you, Steve. Let's see. Boom.
Spear. Okay.
Light hammer of strange silvery metal.
Oh, it doesn't. Where do I put it?
If you drag and drop it into the character sheet, anywhere in the character sheet, it'll automatically
there.
populate.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
that
I
works.
was going to change one thing for you, Steve, because I need to change your armor piercing on this halberd.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. What do we change on it?
The armor piercing increased by 1. And a halberd in Savage Pathfinder is actually that's the one thing where they adjust some stuff in things. Armor piercing plays a bigger role in Savage Pathfinder than in traditional Pathfinder or
So
traditional.
it should be armor piercing 1, right?
Yes, yours should be armor piercing 1. And
And +1 to my parry.
yes, and +1 to your parry, so adjust that as well.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So I think that's.
Do you put it where like shield would be, or no? Or just base?
Say again. Sorry.
Like, do you put it in where like shield would go, or do you just put it in the base?
No. It should populate if you drag and dropped it in. It should be in the correct spot.
No, but like to change my parry.
Oh yes. Put it in where click on the cog. Put it in.
There's 3 spots: base, shield, or edges.
Put it in as shield.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wait.
So 1
they
point
can?
here.
Yeah, you probably can't put it in as shield.
Oh, so it's
it's
be end-
populating from.
Yes, put 1 in for
yeah.
edge hindrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so I remember, right?
Yeah.
That it's not.
Okay, so I'm gonna adjust everyone's.
And then we have that potion of minor wounds. If we want to go ahead and distribute that, obviously it seems like we can't. Right, we can't really use it in a fight unless it's distributed. That's the way we've been playing.
Yep.
Loot.
So who wants that extra one? Everyone's got 1 potion of healing right now. Who would like the extra one?
Who is feeling like they're gonna get smacked around a bit?
Well, actually, I probably will be.
All right.
I'm kind of a tank, so.
So both Stan and Saul, recall that you guys have a reach of 1. You can attack up to 2 squares away with your weapons. All right, so while you guys are getting that set up, let me set up the Morley farm. I believe that is our next destination, is it not?
I think so.
Okay. There's some other heroes who are here already. Bizarre. Strange to think. Get rid of here.
What could it mean?
Okay. Allow me to get my wolves out here. Wolf. I have a lot of wolf tokens. I make use of an awful lot of wolves and werewolves. One might say I'm a dog lover. Or wolf lover. Here we go. All right. So while you guys are, or I'm getting this shit set up here, do you guys... who would like to make the last check for the skill challenge for the dramatic task? Because we need 1 more success to identify where it is, and then I can actually mark on the map where the treasure is.
What skill, sorry?
It's either going to be Sophie or Stan, and you guys can tell me. I know that Saul used athletics for his first one. So it have to be something other than athletics, and the ones you used last turn, I think you used athletics last time, Stan, and I think Sophie used persuasion.
I used persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think persuasion is going to help us find the treasure at this point. So, what do you think, Stan? I'm kind of thinking a notice roll might be a good thing, since we've got some information about what we're looking for, but we don't have kind of perfect information. But we talked about like the different things, the tree that we've heard about that grows a certain way, all that sort of stuff. Finding the last couple, now that we're this close, essentially the last couple of breadcrumbs, that's probably a thing.
What do you think, guys?
Why don't I roll? Why don't I look for the last? Now that we're this close, I think Saul was on the right idea for trying to find the stuff that we've heard is in the area, the trail. So I'm going to use notice to try to pick up the trail once we're this close and just follow it for the last kind of shortest stretch.
Okay.
And I will spend a Benny.
Please do.
That's
Raise.
better.
So, because of your reconnoitering, everybody gets a Benny.
Yay.
You guys are prepared for going in. So, let me bring your tokens over here, folks. Let me get rid of... I got a errant gnome who is still lurking on this map here. Get out of here. Dorman.
He used one of the hover spells and got blown off course.
Exactly. We see this gnomish kite go drifting by. Do we know him? No. All right. Let me grab your characters here. Let me make sure that I've got sight on them. Vision is now called, right? Because it is... We're living in a post old, or what do you call it? Legacy dynamic lighting world. It is gone. It is gone. Okay, so guys, because of your great stealth roll before, I'm going to let you reconnoiter around here, and you can kind of plan accordingly. You know that there is a central farmhouse where underneath the floorboards, buried under the master bedroom's bed. That is where you will find your treasure. Okay, so, guys, let me bring you over. And you're not actually here. This is going to be just an opportunity for you to reconnoiter and plan where you wish to approach from. There you go. So, what do you think, guys?
I don't seem to have any sight at all. Because I've got a black screen.
Hold up, let me see if I've got dynamic lighting on. Probably do. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button, Madison. Here, turn it on. Daylight mode. Save settings. Can you see anything now?
I can.
Oh, okay, great.
I see a whole shit ton of wolves, it looks like.
There's a big pack of wolves that's wandering around down there. Saul and Stan, you guys can see the map as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so the central farmhouse would be the one on the far south here, then. Actually, I think it'll be this. No, that'll be the barn. So it'll be the one. Can you guys see that red square or that's on the? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see the whole
red
thing.
square that's right here.
I was trying to get rid of it. Yeah, that's the. I was trying to get rid of it before. That is the main farmhouse.
Okay. So, as I see it, the problem is that if we start digging, the wolves are going to know we're there, right?
Right.
True. I am pretty sneaky. I could do a little stealth action.
Well, I guess my question is, do we think there's a way to get the treasure out without fighting a whole bunch of wolves, or do we think that the thing that we need to do is figure out how to fight a bunch of wolves without dying?
Guess the old throw a stake trick won't work.
I don't think they're going to respond to throw a stick.
Go get it.
I am a thief, and I do have pretty good stealth and thievery.
I think thievery is more like breaking into places and picking pockets and stuff. But
okay,
he is quick. You're not wrong about your
being
stealth,
stealthy
though.
is definitely good. Yeah.
Do you guys have any ranged weapons? Because one of the things that where Savage Worlds does significantly differ is how easy it is to switch weapons. It is much more convenient to switch weapons in this than it is in AD&D.
So we've got that elven bow.
And the measure, it should be measuring 2 inches now, guys, so you can feel free to... oh, here we go. Yep, it should measure for each square is an inch. So the range of your various weapons and such. Has anyone made use of that bow? Or choosing to claim the bow?
Not yet.
The long bow.
I will be terrible at using it. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it. But
Isn't it an agility thing?
It's shooting.
it's shooting.
Oh, yeah, I have nothing.
Yeah,
in
there's a
shooting.
specific skill for shooting.
Yeah, I'm unskilled.
Yep, me
To
too.
say the least.
Okay. I rewatched Unforgiven on my birthday because I fucking love Unforgiven, and there's that line right at the back where like
I don't have.
one guy tries to hand it over. He's like, "I'm no deputy."
So not a lot of range weapons.
No.
Anyone have the battle skill?
I do have battle.
Give us a battle skill roll, please.
All right.
So you get some insight
battle?
for having watched that. You want to spend a Benny reroll? If you're successful, if it helps, it would likely mean a Benny for everyone and some insight.
Ooh.
Yes, I will spend a Benny to reroll.
Okay. Well, she's still sitting on her conviction. Excellent. So everyone gets a Benny. Remember what the pace of the last fight was.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to soften up and they tried to flank.
Yep.
He did not come at first.
Yep.
Or I say he, it, they.
It.
Right.
The,
Yeah.
the big nasty didn't show up right away.
Yeah, they
Yes.
sent in.
Is there a way? So these buildings, what condition are they in?
Pretty good still. Like a lot of the
Okay.
farms you've passed, they're still relatively intact.
Mm.
So if we had our backs to one of the buildings, we could keep them from flanking us.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Or I was even going to say if we went into one of the buildings, we could try to hold, I guess we'll do some reconnoitering and see if there's a building that has like one entryway that we could form up around inside if we could sneak into there before we let them know that we're there. Essentially create a choke point even more than having our backs to the wall. But then we're stuck if things go south, we can't really get out. So that's
And if the leader shows up, he could possibly burst through our block point.
Yeah.
And then the wolves flood in with him, and
Yep.
we're in a death trap.
Yeah.
We're gonna die anyway. Let's go.
So is there? Well, let's not be too hasty, Saul.
Ooh.
Sophie rather likes living.
Hey, should we set some traps or something? Can we do that? Can we? I mean, I don't know if we have the time, but like we could dig a pit. Like, is there some water around we can lure them into? Can we lure them out one at a time, or a few at a time?
Well, I mean, that's another thing. Like, let's say for example, we head around the west side of the house. There's 4 wolves there. We could be in combat with them, trying to finish them off before the other pack would come around. We'd have our backs to the building, stopping them from having as many attacks on us.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think you're going to stop them. You're not going to break them into groups that will last long. A wolf's howl, I mean, that's something we would all know. A wolf's howl here in these carries for miles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And mechanically, one of the things you guys have learned through other, games as well, or other games of this as well too. Gang up bonus is pretty fucking brutal when you get a couple of things on you.
Absolutely. But I mean, we really limit them by being against the wall.
Yeah.
That battle roll too. It's worth considering a formation as well too. Because if you guys can limit the number of them that can actually get on you, you will limit the number of gang up bonuses. And you've got 2 people who have reach as well.
Yeah,
that's true. We can pick a defensible location, or maybe I don't know, with either dig or use logs or something, and then so they can't flank us.
I mean, we could just try the doorway.
Yeah, I think the doorway might be our best bet, to be honest, if we're feeling like it's do or die. I'm also wondering how many are there other farms kind of in the area, or is this more isolated, or
each of the farms in this region this far out, it's like your home. They're pretty far away.
Okay. So, because one of the things I was thinking is if there's a way to use another I don't know. I had an idea of like setting fire to another farm, and that the smoke would attract the wolves or something. That they'd be like, "Hey, what's that?" And we could sneak around, but that's not really going to work.
There are multiple buildings here, though, and
There
you
are
guys,
multiple buildings.
you can approach from any direction you wish. Where the wolves are is where they're milling around.
Yeah.
You can infer that if you've got full cover from things, you'll be able to approach without them noticing.
So, you said this building is the barn?
Yes, that's the barn. Yeah, where
that's the barn.
The fields are next to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, fields are next to all of them, but
yeah. Okay. So I think the doorway idea is actually pretty good, in terms of having a spot that we could essentially come in from this direction. And is there a door like on this side and on this side?
I'm just checking to see here if I've got... Most of these maps have like a...
Interior layer?
Yeah, interior and exterior thing. I just don't think I was smart enough to layer down one of the ones that has the interior here. This isn't a custom-made map because I am lazy as shit. So let's see here. Slap down town farm village. That does sound like something I would do. Let's see if I can give you a... Here we go. Oh, this may be... Come on, you. So maybe this is something that's really common to mice or mouses nowadays, but my new mouse for work has this like speed mode on it. I can click on it and then I can zip and it'll speed scroll through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am such a simple creature, but I am just I'm so pleased with it. Okay. Big city, let's see here. Okay, let me see if I can find in this. I'm going to only give it another like couple of seconds here because I think I can find the slap down version of that barn there. Let's see here. Home. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. Appears that I was mistaken. So let's say the... No. Let's say the door is on the front side there. Let me put a pen. So we got a door there. Oop. Oh, you can't see it at all.
I saw you drag something. You could probably just use the...
I just freehand draw,
yeah, and draw.
So there's a door right here, guys.
Uh-huh.
I think there are going to be a door on this side where that road comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably it. There's also probably a... On the second story here. Here, put two. Boom. That's where there's an entrance in as well. There's probably a second story one over here, too. And probably a vent here. I'm picturing that the main structure is a little bit lower. There's probably three stories to this other one. And that's just like there's a hayloft that would run through the top of each of these, but then the larger building has an actual like a higher roof to it.
Okay.
Okay,
so I think that's a good so what we could do is approach from this direction and sort of come and climb up. Well, do we have any gear for climbing? Climbing...
Climbing is just an athletics check. You don't need a climbing kit to do that.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone picked... climbing kits are actually quite heavy and expensive, so... But, I mean...
I don't think we have a climbing kit then, but we could probably climb up and clamber into the building sneakily like, and then choose one of the doors to, have as our defensible position and defend the building, basically. The issue that comes to mind is with two doors, I guess what we could do is we could try to barricade one of the doors while we get in sneakily and then open up the other one and defend that one, right? Like we could push up some furniture against this one and then open up the doors here and shout at the wolves or something and get them to see if they'll run in and fight us. Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Does that sound...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and move your tokens, guys, at the edge of the map, and then we'll start moving you in.
I got it.
If it's easier, I can drag, bring you down.
Yeah, I'm just moving. It's
I can't grab mine. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so I got you guys all down here.
Yeah.
I can't move into the white space. Saul's trying to be hidden in the...
In the void.
He's in the void.
All right. So here's what I would like is I'm going to have Sophie and Saul make stealth checks. And let's actually change this music up again. Here, let's get something a little just tense because this is...
Oh, this is tense.
Most definitely. All right, let's actually...
Cue the music.
What does this sound like? No, I kind of hate that one. I'll use this one. All right. Well, I don't hate it, but just sick of hearing it after 120 sessions or whatever it was. Okay, so what like is Sophie and Saul? You're going to effectively be supporting Stan's role here. So why don't you each give us a stealth check, please? Okay, you're not hurting, but you're not helping either. Sophie's is, though. Wow, +2. All right, then, Stan, would you give us a stealth roll, please? +2.
At +2?
Yeah, remember, no, not a plus, just the number 2.
Got it, thanks. Kablam. Yep, up there you go.
Success. Let's see what their scent is. There's a pack of them, but I'm only rolling one thing. Your best roll is a 7. How about I use the stats for Wolf and not for Balrog? Probably a good idea. Yeah, their fire aura immolates all of you. Sorry. Ooh.
Well, we had a ancient and mysterious stranger, and you didn't send Gandalf to meet us, so...
I sent kind of a quasi-Gandalf, quasi-Radagast.
Yeah.
By way of, stunt casting. All right, so... Guys, go ahead and move your pace up to where you want to be.
Each square is one
inch.
1 inch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da-da.
I can't move my token.
Let's see here.
Stay close together.
Yep.
You may want to check, Steve. You should have full control over him. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I can't pick him up for some reason.
I don't know what to tell you, but the settings are all correct on this. Maybe hit refresh.
Okay.
To see if that, because like the settings are all correct for you having control. Unless I've taken away control of your character, which I don't think I did. Nope.
Okay. Coming back down here, go reloaded.
Okay.
And there we go. That worked.
Okay.
Refresh
Perfect.
worked.
All right. So you can move yourself. I think you have 6. All right. So then let's see here. Stan. 1 second here. I'll let you each make a... There we are. Why don't you each give us a notice check, please? Okay. Holy shit, Saul.
Man.
So Saul, I'm just going to move and you can see what's happening. 1. Seems that there is. You can hear the sound of like a low growl from around the corner that's getting closer to you. You've just got incredible ears. So you guys, we're going to drop into initiative order here. See if we can't get you guys some jokers. All right, so Sophie, you're up first here. Sophie gets a 6 of clubs, and remember, clubs don't mean anything in combat. Saul, 5 of clubs, which is good because you're getting nothing but clubs. Stan, 8 of hearts. The wolf will be moving on a 7 of spades. I'm not spending any card or any bennies. Does anyone, hands up, anybody want to spend a benny to get a new card? Right now we have Saul and Sophie acting after the wolf.
I think I want to go. I want to try to go before.
Okay.
So I will spend a penny for another
6
card.
fuck me. What's your Saul?
Well, Saul is calculating, so a 5 is actually a really good card for him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
I think I'll stay with it.
All right. So then first up is Stan. So Stan, you're aware that you can't see it yet, but Saul can kind of point to you and you can hear that there's a wolf coming from like right around this corner here.
Okay.
So Stan, what are you going to do?
Let's see here. So can we jump through a window?
The window you're going to have to climb up to.
Oh, I see.
There is a door here you can go through. Oh no, that's a vent as well too. Shit, no, there's not a door on this side.
Yeah.
So
those are high up. So we could run around and try to get in the door first, or we can make a stand like over here at the corner and try to jump it as it comes around.
So if you make a, if you are intent on still climbing in there, you could. Here's one thing. So there is a mechanic called a test in this. Now tests normally are like more direct face-on-face stuff. It's trying to like intimidate or scare or whatever. What you could also do though is if you can come up with a distraction or something, you know, like maybe thievery, kind of tossing a stone off in another direction, try and do a kind of sleight of hand thing. On a raise, a thing makes it shaken. So it may be like looking over and growling in that direction, allowing you guys to finish your turn.
Ooh, go for it, Steve.
Oh,
yeah, that sounds good.
Thievery can come in handy with that. Sure, that's not a bad idea. So
Okay.
why don't I do the old throw a stick routine?
Yeah. So here, Steve, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a roll for its... you're making a thievery check, which means I'm going to resist with agility.
It has to be a stick, because I mean, it's a wolf. So.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I knew this plan would work. All right. So, Steve, you need to beat my 4. Actually, you need to get an 8.
All right.
Is what you want.
Thievery and no bonuses. Okay.
Yep.
Straight up, here it comes.
Oh.
So you...
But you got some pennies?
Yeah. And you got conviction. Oh, he doesn't have conviction. He's used his conviction.
No
Fine.
conviction.
You want to spend a Benny to re-roll that there, Steve-O?
What do you guys figure? Yeah?
I think you should spend a penny and go for it, because...
We're running out of time. Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got to make this happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
Succeed.
no.
So, Steve, you can make it distracted, which means -2 to its actions, or you can make it vulnerable, which is +2 to actions against it. What are you thinking?
Let's go with distracted.
Distracted, nice. Okay. So, what I always use violet for vulnerable. What do we think? How about this one? Dead face for distracted? No, it's got to be color I'll recognize either. I don't know. We don't use green for anything right now, right?
We don't use green for anything right now. No.
So green will be distracted. Okay, so then it is its turn. All right.
Well, doesn't Stan get to move also?
Oh, Stan gets to move as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you want to move, Stan? You can move up to your...
So
your
I have to go around here, though, right? I have to go up there?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Should I go to the corner stealthily or what here?
the plan is to get to this square essentially and then climb up next turn into the building. But you could call an audible and do something else if you're feeling like that's necessary.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to move to right there.
Okay.
All right, then it's this thing's turn. So, it's vulnerable, which means it's a little curious. And its pace is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. And I did not run, so I can't attack. I'm going to make a spirits check. It's distracted, so I'm going to get a -2 on a successful. Because basically it's a fear check against you guys, what I'm doing. If I succeed on this, it's going to howl. And draw the attention of everything else. I will roll this in chat, so you guys can see the result. I need a 4. Oh, I'm distracted. Hold on. -2. Here we go. Ready? Fumble. This thing stands in rapt awe. Makes no sound whatsoever. It is shocked to see you there so close. All right, next is Sophie. What are you doing, Sophie?
I'm looking up how charging works.
Charging, there's no actual charge thing unless you've got like an edge. You can run. You just make a roll in your run. If you can get to it in time, you get -2 to your attack because of the run penalty.
Okay, well then that's what I can't reach it without running, so I think that's what I'll do.
Okay.
So It's just you just click on the die next to pace, right, and it tells you how far you can get.
That's right.
Excellent.
7.
Oh boy, 7 is all I needed, I think.
7,
1,
nice.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Puts me in.
So you have -2 to hit. Now, your move is completely independent of your actions. Here's some options for you. You can multi-action, so you can take another -2 to your attack and attack twice. You can Wild Strike, which gives you +2 to hit, +2 to damage, but it leaves you vulnerable until the end of your next turn. And you can also do a Desperate Strike, which is you put a bonus to your hit that you take as a penalty to your damage up to 4. That's something that's only in Savage Pathfinder.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to do anything fancy. Partly because I know that Saul has got the spear right behind, and so he's going to be able to attack from behind me, right? Because he's got reach.
Yes, and Stan can actually hit it with his halberd from where he is.
Stan can hit it with his halberd. So I think I'm okay to just do. I'm going to ready, drawing my sword and pulling my shield off my back as I'm charging in.
Yep. And
then I'm going to make one attack at -2.
Oh, your sword you're using. Okay. Yep.
Oh no, not sword, with the light hammer.
Okay.
Of strange silvery metal. I
Go
would
ahead.
use that because this is a wolf, and -2.
So, okay.
A 5.
5 is a hit.
Nice.
No raise. Go ahead and roll damage.
Rolling damage. Ooh. Very little.
That will only shake it. You want to spend a Benny to reroll?
Yeah, I'll spend the Benny and reroll damage.
Okay. So this thing is shaken. You've clipped it, but it's moved a bit away. So you're not... actually, it's not distracted any longer because it was the end of its turn. Then it is Saul's turn. What are you doing, Saul?
Well, Saul will move up here, and because of calculating, he can make 2 attacks without the penalty.
Yep.
Nice.
And he will actually wild fight.
Nice. So it's a net
Yeah.
+2 to hit, +2 to damage. I'll put the violet
And
on you
that's-
so you're vulnerable.
We got the phalanx going, the shield wall up front, and the spears from behind.
That is a hit with a raise. Go ahead and roll damage. That's 11. Yay! You skewer this thing through and withdraw your spear.
Yeah.
You've made no sound.
So Sophie will immediately drop the hammer and reach down to grab the carcass and start hauling it this direction out of the line of sight, basically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you guys now, for this round, go ahead and, before we go draw cards, Sophie and Saul, each of you give us a stealth roll. See it to assist Stan.
Stealth?
Okay, no penalty.
Nope.
Okay, so Stan, just give us a stealth roll, please. And I'll roll their notice.
Stealth
I
roll.
smell the blood. Okay, you gotta beat my 6.
Oh boy, okay. Come on, stealth. Do your thing.
They like blood.
Eat it. Come on. What happened? I just did it. Why isn't it there? There.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
So what
I
happens?
got one more Benny, right?
No, and unfortunately, when you roll 2 1s, when you roll critical failure, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
What happens, guys, is you hear there's actually just a little bit of life left in this thing. So you grab it, Sophie, and it screeches out or yelps before you hammer it one last time. And in the film version of this, we would cut, of like every one of these wolves' heads would turn, and somewhere in the shadow of the main structure, you'd hear the silhouette would turn with burning red eyes. Let's draw some cards.
All right.
So, first up, we've got Sophie. Bless you, bless you. Sophie is getting a 5. Saul is getting an 8. And Refugee Stan is getting a 4. Also, each of you guys can have a Benny for getting through the first round of it. Now, does anyone want to spend a Benny for hands up? Anyone getting a new card? I can't actually see you, Steve, so you're the only one who needs to answer if you do want a new card. Oh, let me tell you what the...
I don't think I
Wolves
want
are
a
on
new
an
card.
8. 8 of diamonds happens before clubs. The wolves would go before anyone right now.
Yeah.
Anyone want to draw a new card?
I don't think so. Not for me.
Okay.
No thanks.
And it seems like we should save our bennies for the fight at this point.
Yeah,
'cause-
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
considering the rule we just learned about rolling our conviction and then using bennies to sustain it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really good.
That's like
Okay.
If we can roll big on the conviction.
Yeah,
Alright.
totally.
So then, guys, the wolves will be up first. So, just for ease, I'm going to roll once for the running die for all the wolves, and then just apply that to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 1. So, there's a little tidbit that the gods are giving you. So I can move 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're gonna flank. They're wolves. These suckers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these suckers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. I think that's all my wolves. All my wolves have gone. Yep. All right, guys. That's the end of the wolves. So you can see this whole hideous pack is all charging towards you. Then it is, I think, Saul's turn. What are you doing, Saul?
Well, I think the plan is to climb in this window. So,
Okay.
attempting agility? Is that what
Yep.
you said it
Give us
was?
an athletics check.
Or athletics, sorry.
All right, so you're up. One more success like that, and you will be in. You can picture that you are, about a yard up. So you're about 6 feet up, getting towards that thing. Come on. Next up is Sophie.
Is there enough room to climb alongside Saul, or do I need to wait for him?
No, you can start climbing up as well too.
Okay, well then I will move over and we'll put me right here, and I will start climbing.
Go ahead. Yeah,
If
athletics check.
I succeed. Oh,
Yes!
nice.
Nice. You actually managed to get yourself up to right in the lip of it. You're going to pull yourself in next time.
Nice.
Then it is Stan's turn. What are you doing, Stan?
All right, Stan. I guess it's time to let's
Excuse me.
see. Well, climb.
Give us an athletics check.
All right. Athletics. Let's do this.
Okay, so you're equal to where Saul is. You're starting to climb up.
Okay.
All right, guys, next turn. Sophie, you guys have lined yourself up 2. Saul, Jack of Diamonds. Stan, King of Diamonds. Wolves, 7 of Hearts. Sophie wants a new card. Sophie gets a 9 of Hearts, so you guys will all be
Nice.
acting before these wolves. Nice. Any hands up? Anyone else getting a card? No? All right. Stan, you're up first. What are you doing? You gonna finish climbing?
Yep.
Give us an athletics check, please.
Do this. Hit it. Haven't had a good roll in a while. That doesn't do.
Okay, and let's... There we go. That sounds about right. Alrighty, how'd you do there? Okay, so you are right on the lip. Next round, as you move, you can pull yourself in and then take an action. So you're almost ready to get up there. Next up would be Saul.
All right.
I'll roll my running.
Money. Yes.
Yep. Saul, you are the same thing. Next round, you spend your move to get yourself in there. And then Sophie, you're up next.
All right. So I'm on the lip, so I can just move in.
Yes, you can.
All right. So I'm going to move in and then immediately start looking around to see if it's a ladder or a stair or how you get out. Because we're on the second story, right?
Yep.
How does it connect to the first story?
Ladder down to the first thing. And then let's do this. Let's say it's roll 2d6. That's how many squares away the ladder will be. This will be random.
Right.
Because who knows where the sucker is. Come on. Roll low. Roll low.
Well, I rolled without a space, so it gave me unrecognized commands. So here, let's try it for real this time. Ooh,
nine squares away. So I guess that's what?
The other side of the barn.
Yeah, about here is probably where.
Basically. All right, I'm gonna mark it with an X.
Excellent. Then it is the wolves' turn. I roll, so I have 15 movement for them today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so they're easily able to get down here. They are howling and snapping down. Yep.
No, I'm going to draw an actual ladder because I'm working on it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, 15, 15. Quit cheating. Madison. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 2. All right. And there's wolves running around the side there, too. All right, guys. That is the end of the round. We got Sophie is inside the barn. And, yeah. So here we go. Next round. Sophie. 5. Jeepers. Saul. Ace of Spades.
Oh, I didn't.
Fantastic. Stan. King of Hearts. And the wolves.
Oh. You know, Kev, I just want to point something out.
Yep.
I've never had a Joker in all the times we've played Savage Worlds.
Of course you haven't. Come on. All right. Hands up, anyone drawing a card. There's one more Joker.
To play with a different dealer for the next time we play.
Hands up, anyone want a card? We got one more Joker that's in there.
No.
No?
No, not all.
All right.
No.
So these things are howling out. I'll roll. How much can they run this turn? Let's see here. Yeah, so they're all sort of collecting around down here and are yipping and howling up at you. And I think these ones will run over to the door over here. Bum, 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 bum. And I will enjoy my lovely new Benny, which I'm going to save for now. All right. Then, next up will be Saul. What are you doing, Saul? As your move action, you can pull yourself up.
Right, so I'm inside now.
Yep. And they can... So I'll treat it just like standing from prone, so it'll count as 2 points of your pace. So you still have 4 points of pace, or 4 pace left to move if you want, and you can still run on top of that as well.
Yeah, I might as well run. I mean,
yep.
Really, that's
so
what we're
click
doing.
on run, and we'll just reduce it by 2. So you can move 8 inches. You're almost at that thing.
So I'm close to the ladder.
Yep.
I'm assuming that Sophie was pointing to the ladder.
Yeah,
I came through the window.
I'm go. We gotta get to it and pull it up.
Okay.
Or something.
Stan, you're next. So you...
All right, am I...
2 movement to get into the barn.
Okay. And then I'll follow Saul.
Okay, click on run. The dice next to your pace, and then we'll treat it as 2 lower. That'll be how far you can run. Nice. 9. You can get to the ladder.
I was actually 1 square farther away.
Oh, were you? Okay, so
Yeah,
Stan
like
is...
we were in a line.
Oh, right. So, yeah, so Stan, you guys are both at the ladder right now. And then finally, Sophie, you can see this pack of wolves all come slamming around the corner.
Yep, I'm gonna run, hoping that if I get to the ladder, I can do a athletics check with a penalty to start pulling it up.
Oh, you're going to pull it up as opposed to go down it.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is that we don't really want to go down and get right. We kind of need to reevaluate what we're doing at this point. So okay, yes, I'm gonna run.
Go ahead,
and we'll see if I get there.
Easy.
Yep.
So what you could do, what I was saying with athletics, is if you choose, I'll let you make an athletics check to do sort of a Captain Kirk sliding down the ladder kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get down. I am going to assume that each of the doors is closed right now.
Yep.
It is unlikely that any farmer, however desperate, would leave the doors open.
Yep.
So you can hear the sound of the wolves to the east side that are slamming against the door trying to get in.
Okay, then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hands on the ladder and be like ready to pull it up and say, guys, what are we doing? Are we going for the door, or are we making a stand here, or what? And next turn we can talk.
Okay.
With our free action.
This gives me an excellent opportunity. So here's how breaking objects works in this. Breaking objects is one of the only times when dice don't explode. You just roll dice normally, and then you try and, if you hit equal to the object's, I think it's equal to the toughness, then you can break it. But you can't explode, so like there's not going to be like lucky hits where like, oh, my fucking slingshot blew up a tank. Wow. I mean, there's other rules that take care of that stuff, but... okay, so then that's the end of the round. I got a joker. I need to reshuffle here so that our heroes have a free opportunity. Jeffrey, I got a good feeling this round for you.
I don't think it'll be the round right after I make
Sophie, let's get a 3. Saul. Not quite. Still pretty good. Stan.
Good.
Ace of spades. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Wolves. An 8. I got a shit ton of Benny, so I'm going to spend a point. You want me to spend mine and draw mine first, or anyone else want to put their hand up?
I'm not going to do it, even with the 3. I got to save my bennies.
King of Hearts. Aces will go before me. Okay, so then, first up will be the old Ace of Spades. Stan, what are you doing?
Okay, let's see if I can run down and close the door, or make sure
it is closed.
Door's closed. Door's closed. What we're trying to decide is if we're going to run down and try to fight at the doors, or if we're going to try to pull the ladder up right now and be stuck here, but with the wolves not able to get to us, hopefully. So we need Stan to say...
Wolves, right? They're not hellhounds, right?
Well, there is a wolf that has some hellhoundishness to him, but he's not here yet, as far as we can tell.
What if we lured them into the house and then burn the house down? They trap them in and then burn the house down.
Sure.
What do you have to make a fire?
Do you have anything to make a fire?
A big fire?
We could rub 2 sticks together. I don't think I have.
Well, we're gonna be under siege for a little while if we get the ladder up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you guys are discussing, Saul would just yell, "Stick to the plan."
Okay.
Okay. Then, Stan, it'll cost you, with a successful athletics check, it'll cost you 2 of your pace to go down the ladder. If you don't want to risk that, then it'll just be that's your movement getting to the bottom of the ladder. What do you think? Do you risk the roll for athletics, or do you just play it safe?
I'll play it safe.
Okay. So Stan moves himself down to the main floor. Next is Saul. What are you doing, Saul?
Athletics check.
Love it. Love it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Success. So you slide down. Assuming you're in the same spot, you just got 2 more movement to do. You can't run because you didn't take the penalty to your athletics roll. So you can move 4 more squares. Where do you want to go?
Well, towards the door. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Then it is the wolves. Wolves. So let's see if we can break through this door. Get object toughness here. think this door is pretty tough. This is the first time we've used these rules, too, which is pretty awesome. I'm always a sucker for seeing how stuff works at the table. And we've, with the exception of, like, downtime, or not downtime, the segues or whatever they're called, I think interludes. We've used almost everything in Savage Pathfinder at one point or another. Now.
Nice.
Yeah. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay. Is it under combat? Let's see here. I know it's in here. I know it's in here. Where are you? It's under B. Breaking things. Here we go. Savage Worlds always has shit listed under the most obvious. Like, it's not hidden. It's a very, like, just breaking stuff.
Well,
All
it's
right.
like how all the skill names, it's not like, you know, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
I want to
shooting.
sneak.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to shoot. Okay, we'll call it that.
All right, so strength. Here we go. Oh, this is a tricky one. It's going to be a tricky one, guys. Let's see. All right. I got 3 wolves I can do it. Yeah. Here we go. Bam. It's a no. Almost the first one goes through. Second one does not. Nope. Third one does not. Bam, bam. You know, a smart person. Oh, support wouldn't have necessarily worked here. One more. Bam, not through. All right, that's all the ones I'm going to let do that. Okay, then it is... Let's move these guys over here. The others will start going to flank, I think. Let me run with them. Can run 12. Let me just bundle these guys up. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're about there right now. All right. Sophie, what are you doing?
I'm regretting the fact that I took loyal as a hindrance. Because otherwise I'd just pull the ladder up and be like, okay, I'm going to let you guys deal with that. Take the ladder over to the other window and just get down by myself. But no, I'm going to run and take the athletics check. So athletics with a -2 penalty.
So that expressly invoking your hindrance, that's worth a Benny. So go ahead, take it.
All right. I will spend the Benny right away to try to do the athletics check.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Why do you have a -2 on there? Oh, because you're running?
Because I'm running.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, you slide down. You still have 8 more squares of movement.
8 more. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong. I'm drawing instead of. I got it because I drew the thing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
I think puts me there.
Ooh. All right. Then it is the end of the turn. Next round, guys.
Yeah.
Sophie. 7. Saul. 8. Stan. 9. Wolves. 3. So I'm going to spend a Benny. Anyone want to go before me? No? No? 2. That's what I get for fucking around.
Wolves. Take that, wolves.
Yeah, suck it, Madison. You can draw jokers all day, but if you draw 2s afterwards.
Exactly. All right, so first up is Stan on a 9. What are you doing, Stan? Steve-O?
There, Steve.
Is Steven in the hangout still?
I don't know. His
He's in the
camera's
hangout,
off,
but he's
so
muted. But we can't see him because his camera's off, so we can't
Oh, there you
tell
go.
if he's.
I just saw Stan move over.
Sorry, I've been on mute the whole time. Sorry. Yes, I'll move down. Sorry, I thought I wasn't on mute. I'll move down beside Sophie.
Okay, and then next up is Saul.
Yeah, Saul just moves over and says, who's gonna throw the door open? And he'll hold his spear out, aimed at it.
I don't think we're throwing the door open. I think we're waiting for it to come down on us.
Yeah, okay. But that's all that's what he said, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds more heroic that way.
Then it is Sophie's turn.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up. I want to be right about here in sort of like right against the crack, so that hopefully if it bursts open, it's not going to smack me as it.
Okay.
That's sort of my plan.
You got it.
Yeah.
Then, next is the wolves. I have 4 that can try and break 3. Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to add +3 because there's more helping here. It's not enough this round. It creaking in that bar. Then what you hear is... Let's see here. Where's my... There it is. I was trying to find my cursor. The cursor has gone missing. This guy's up here. They're running. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear a loud and low howl come from somewhere further away, not from right outside. And there's a bunch of howls that come in response, as if something was asking, you know, what the fuck? That is the end of the round. Next round. Sophie? 10. Saul? 4. Actually, which actually works for you.
I like 4s.
Stan? A 5. Wolves? King? And someone else? A 5. I'm not drawing new cards. Anyone hands up gonna spend new cards? No?
No, I like my 4.
All right. Then Sophie, you... or actually, my wolves are up first here. So wolves are up first. Once again, a +3. Let's see if they get through. Nearly. It's cracking. One more hit like that, and that is it for it. The others are going to throw themselves against the other door. Poof. Let's see here. You can hear the door at the other end smash. It is open now at the other end of the barn. Then it is Sophie's turn. What are you doing, Sophie? She's spinning here. But
this is why I suggested that we pull up the ladder, guys. But no. So what I think I'm going to do, so Sophie will shout to Stan, Stan, cover the back end and we'll cover this end. And so what I'm expecting is basically he can point his halberd that way, and I'm still forming the shield wall against these ones.
Okay. So if what you want to do is hold an action, remember
yeah,
you just...
I want to hold. And
yep. Okay. So you've got that card.
Athletics.
Yep. Let us know when you want to interrupt, and then you'll make an athletics check. Next is Stan. What are you doing, Stan? The wolves have broken through. Over here, they've broken through.
Well, okay. Is there? What's the furniture layout? Is it someplace I can block?
It's a barn, so there'd be like there's stalls, there's hay in there.
Open.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to start a fire?
Yeah, I can start a fire by the door over there. Yeah.
No, that was a joke. That was.
The wolves are talking
to
the...
Think? Do you want to revisit that plan about luring them in and then starting a fire, and then we can climb out the window, trap them in?
Climbing out the window.
A question. You don't have time to discuss strategy right now. What do you do in this round?
Okay. Then I will... Maybe I should watch, the back. Are you going to let them through the door?
I think they're going to let themselves in through the door.
The ones with
maybe I should stay here and stay with you guys, and we can fight these wolves here. Let's take care of these guys.
Okay.
So I'll position myself here.
All right.
I think. Yeah.
Saul, you're up. What are you doing?
Saul will move between his allies like this, but he will say, "Should we move to the corner?" And that's it.
Okay.
That's a good
interesting idea.
Then it is... You hear a low, loud howl. And... Oh, I gotta... Let me go. Alright. That is the end of the round, guys. Next turn. Go to the right layer here. Here we go. Sophie. 6. Saul. Jack of Diamonds. Not a joker yet. Stan. 5. Wolves. A 10. And a 9 for something else. Sophie's going for another card. Here you go, Sophie. Ace of diamonds.
Nice.
Anyone else? Stan, you're acting on a 5 right now. Do you want another card? Spend a penny?
I'm okay.
Okay. And Saul, you're okay?
Yeah.
All right. First up is Sophie. What are you doing, Sophie?
All right, Sophie's going to shout, yeah, let's get to the corner, because she likes Saul's idea.
Yep.
So she's going to go right here
Okay, let me move that
and leave
card.
some
out of the way.
space for the other guys to get, into these spots.
You got it. Next up is Saul. What are you doing, Saul?
Saul will do exactly that. He will move here.
Okay. Then it is the wolves. All right, let me see if these other ones break through. Still not good enough. One off. That door's like on its last hinges. The others are going to run. Ugh, 15 squares of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Puts me here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't reach you. So these wolves are racing across there trying to get to you. Something else is moving. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. It's not running yet. Then it is Saul's turn. What are you doing, Saul?
Or no,
Or is that Stan? That was Stan's turn. Stan,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Stan.
There are wolves in the barn,
Yeah,
and they're in reach of you right now.
Let's whack that guy.
Please do. Go ahead, make your click on your spear. Or your halberd, rather. Your halberd.
Yeah. Click on the old halberd. All right, hold on. Shield.
Yeah.
Halberd. All right.
I'm gonna scooch here.
No mod. Eat it.
That is not good enough.
No, I think it's a 5.
Yep. Do you want to spend a penny and re-roll that?
No, I better save it.
Okay.
Okay.
You can step back.
Okay. I think then it is the end
Oh,
of
wait,
the
no,
round.
there's only 10 minutes left. Or so.
What are you gonna do?
Screw it. Reroll. Here we
Go
go. Oh,
ahead.
wait, but it carries over till next time, doesn't it, our bennies?
No, they
Nope.
don't.
Okay.
Reroll it is. Couple out.
Hit. Not a, Go ahead and
Nice.
click on damage. Come on.
Roll the damage.
So hit with no raise. 7 is enough to shake but not drop it. Let's see, is there any armor? No, there's no armor either. Cheapers. Okay, so that one is shaken. All right, that is the end of the round, guys. Drawing cards quickly here. Sophie.
Well, Steve could step back if he wants.
Yes, he could. Yeah, you could move as well. Sophie's got a 9, or 10 rather. Saul, a 7. Stan. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
Nice. Everyone gets a Benny. Stan, you
Yay.
have +2 to hit, +2 to damage. The wolves get a 2, and their master is on a 6. I'm not spending any bennies to go, so you guys can go for the wolves. Do I? Let's do that. I can't take them with me.
Okay.
Jack of Hearts. Anyone spending a Benny? So the wolves currently will go before everyone other than Stan.
No, I'm not spending.
I'm going to take another card, but I actually want a 5 or less.
Okay. 9. Okay.
Can I keep taking cards?
Of course you can. Yeah, absolutely. As long as you got bennies.
Yeah, I have 6, so yeah, give me another card.
There you go!
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so you guys also get another Benny. So, Steve,
Nice.
I'm going to adjust yours
But it
for you.
only
You should
cost
actually
me
be at
2.
3 Bennies right now.
Or 1, actually.
Excellent. And, Saul, you get +2 to hit, +2 to damage. So, Stan drew the first one. Stan, would you like to make another attack?
Yes, I would, please. Thank you.
If you want to attack the same thing, go ahead and make your attack roll. It's a +2, so put 2 in as your modifier.
All right.
Go ahead and click on your halberd again.
Kablam.
Hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
+2?
+2 to damage, yeah, because you're
Okay.
Joker. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You sweep that one wolf aside. Incredible. Jeffrey, you want to go next?
No, I'll wait for them to step in.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you can't...
I don't have the thing
Right.
to...
Yep. I mean, you could step forward 1 and then attack if you like.
No, I like our formation.
Okay, all right. Then next will be the wolves on a jack. So give us an athletics check there, Jeffrey.
No, I'm not opposing them.
Oh, you're just
Or,
letting...
or
You're
that's
just
how it
waiting
works.
until after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you can make an athletics check to intercept, essentially, or you can just wait until after them and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah,
you...
I think he was just waiting.
Okay, so then...
So he's just waiting for them to move in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
I'll get a chance to make my attacks here first.
Yeah.
Right. Which, that's what we're
Okay.
expecting.
Yeah.
And boom. All right. So let's see here. I've got let's hear 2. I think 2 on Stan, 2 on Sophie, and 1 on Saul. All right. So their fighting's not great though. All right. So against Stan, your parry is a 7 right now because of your halberd. Okay, so a 7 against... so you keep those 2 at bay. They don't manage to hit you there, Steve-O. I got 2 on Sophie. Sophie, your shield will give
That's
you...
from one of them, right?
Yep, so it's a 7 against...
A 7 and a 6.
7 and a 6. Okay, so 7 is a miss. 6 is a hit. With no raise, though. So...
All right.
And then... So it managed to get its vicious teeth in on you. Your toughness is an 8. There's no AP for these. And I do not get through your armor. So
Nice.
it bites at you, but you're able to yank that back. And then last one on Saul. That is a miss, Saul. All right, so these wolves get in. They're either not able to hit you or they're not able to get a significant hit. Would you like to go next, Saul?
Yes.
Okay, +2 to hit, +2 to damage. What are you doing?
I am multi-attacking the full 3 attacks,
Okay.
and I will fight with wild abandon.
Okay. So that
and
means...
my Joker, so they're all at -2.
They're all actually at... if you're taking the Joker bonus and you are wild striking, it's actually 0. Because 3 attacks is -4.
Oh, okay, so
Yep.
they're flat.
Yep, so it'll be flat, and then you get +4 to damage on each of these.
Yeah, nice.
So go ahead
All right,
with...
here we go.
Your spear lashes out.
One hit.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. +4. Yep. One right through the eye. It drops down. Make your second attack.
I
Spend a
will
Benny.
roll. Yep.
Okay.
I'll just keep track of bennies until
Sure.
the end of this thing, because...
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Submit.
Hit.
Yes.
With a raise.
With a raise. So that's damage.
+4.
4.
Yep. Another one down.
14. Yes. And last attack.
You can step in. Oh, yeah, because it got reach anyway.
Yeah.
Hit. No raise. Go ahead and roll damage. +4.
Yes.
Nice.
4 of them, or sorry, 3 of them. Brutal. Lashing up from beside you and behind you, Sophie. Next is, speaking of Sophie. Sophie, you're up. What are you doing?
All right. Wild attacking, 2 attacks. So that balances out those 2. So I'm just basically 1 on each of the 2 guys that are there.
This door has broken, by the way. I just finally rolled for them.
Okay. Well, that's good because we're trying to clear out the wolves
Yep.
that are around us. All right. So first one, no penalty.
Hit. No raise. Go ahead and roll damage.
Roll damage and +2 for wild attack.
Come on.
Ooh, just
So
a shake. I
shaken.
think.
Yep.
And then second one, I'm gonna attack the other one, not the shaken
Sure.
one.
Yeah. Try and shake it. You got it.
To try to shake it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
As a hit. No raise. Go ahead and roll damage.
no raise damage.
That one's down.
Nice.
Collapse skull in. These are animals, so we'll make a spirit check for them. I'm going to give them a +1 to this just because it's... they got their master with them as well. Yeah, they're still fighting. All right. That, I believe, is just their master gets to go. He hears the bloody sound of you guys killing his pack. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And I'm going to make my run check for him because he's going to try and run it. Oh, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I just, it
Oh, indeed.
clicked forward for some reason. What the fuck is going on?
Oh.
Yeah, I was worried. I just clicked back on the browser for me for some reason.
Do you have extra buttons on the mouse that do that? Mine has mouse buttons.
Oh, I may have. Yeah. There is an extra button on there, so I may have
Yeah.
accidentally hit that. Let's see here. Sophie's always up first, so you're there.
Now, I would just like to point out, I'd love to play this game all night, but
But it's...
Yeah.
We're at time.
No,
Yeah.
well, I was just gonna say, I just wanted to let you know I still have to finish hanging this crap up, and I have something at 8 in the morning tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no.
so-
What we'll do is with this thing. Where did it go? There it is. It just teleported.
Yeah.
2,
It's just outside the door.
7, 8. So it's right here.
Yep.
What I need.
Yeah, the dramatic reveal is...
Yeah. What I need from
Fear
you guys.
tests.
Well, the dramatic reveal and the fear check. Yeah. I need a fear check at -2, please.
All right. So... Yeah.
Nice with a raise. Get a Benny. You'll actually be gone anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Saul, you want to spend a Benny? Can't take him with you. Oh, and you got conviction left too.
You got
Yeah.
conviction, so you could spend the conviction and automatically have a success.
No, I'm gonna save the conviction. Do I have one conviction left? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
then you
save
spend
that for Wednesday when we actually fight this thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I will just re-roll.
Okay.
-2.
Nice.
That's better.
So you steel yourself against this enormous thing, and then Steve-O, would you kindly give us a spirit check, please?
Spirit check.
Yep, -2 to your roll.
Ugh.
There's an actual fear button at the top of the sheet.
Oh,
Is
nice.
there?
Oh, and the fear result. What
yeah.
happens when you click on fear result?
Uh,
Love it.
Where is?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fucking cool. So, and it prompts for a modifier as well. That is fantastic. We don't need to look at my fear chart anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Where's
wicked.
the button, Jeff?
It's right at the top, right in the middle. It's a guy with the...
Oh, that one.
Ah!
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so you guys have all succeeded in your fear checks. Everyone has steeled themselves.
Yeah.
As this thing is charging in, we will see what happens on Wednesday.
I
So,
don't even say we've steeled and silvered
Yeah.
ourselves.
yes. You know, one of the downsides, whoever doesn't make it on Wednesday, they don't have silvered weapons. So, and the rest of the party better butter up Jeff, Steve, and Arlen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Will's going to come back from vacation. All right, I'm rested and ready to... What the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
We're fighting a werewolf. You have nothing that can hurt it.
Awesome. All right, so guys, then with you standing against the werewolves, that is phenomenal. I think what I will do is, having faced this terror, I will give each of you conviction.
Yay.
Nice.
So you'll have an extra point of conviction going into this final thing. You are facing the wolves as well. For those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 3 of our war story, A Spring of Ashes. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the game we're playing, the campaign, or this particular session, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. Alternatively, you can reach us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, a link to which you can find in the description of the video. You can also find a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits SOS Children's Villages International. And from now until August 1st, 2021, for every $25 that you donate, Canadian, you get one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other awesome prizes we have in our next charity raffle. The grand prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's Legendary Edition Curse of Strahd box set. The second prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's upcoming Shadowy Silver Edition of the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. If you don't win those, you still get a chance to win some other great stuff, including a chainmail dice bag made by our resident armor smith, Dave. You could win a couple of Dungeon Crawl Classics modules donated by our buddy George. You could win a copy of this is as long as it's here beforehand. I'm happy to donate it. And a copy of Modifius's brand new 2D20 Acton Cthulhu game, because I accidentally ordered a second copy of that. And yeah, oops. You can also win a bunch of great prizes from our Dungeon Musings shop as well too. So there could be t-shirts and cups and mugs and stuff like that. Oh, there you go.
Rockslide's looking a little beat up because I keep forgetting to turn him inside out when I wash him.
Well, you know, the thing that earth elementals are the most vulnerable to is water. So that is thematic.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So then, and if you don't win any of those, you still get a chance to do some other great stuff, including select what charity sessions that we are running on the channel. And we recently have had the Star Trek Adventures one win, and from now until, I think it's next week, donors can actually spend their money to help dictate what kind of story we're going to have. Right now, it's a really interesting mix of, we have a story that involves a natural disaster that involves both the Klingons and the original series and Enterprise era. So it'll be interesting to see what this particular tale will be. And the best thing is that if you do donate to the Hero Save Villages campaign, all money goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International to help the over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children who benefit from their services. So last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to the fine players who have joined us tonight. So Arlen, Jeff, and Steve-O, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. This is a really good session. Like, it's great, and it's everything I really enjoy with not only playing with you guys, but playing with this particular rule set. It's just, it feels like there's, always something interesting and some way of like bringing us deeper into the story. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Then, for those listening at home, if you are joining us during the current crisis, we do hope this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our fledgling heroes in Heronshire get themselves up to. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.